Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all of my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you be of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you are a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. We welcome you this morning. Greetings and welcome those from Covenant Awakenings and Quest to Unite Africa. This is Q2UA Discussions. Q2UA Discussions. Now, before I begin, again, thank you for all those that have supported Quest to Unite Africa. But I want to make sure that you all are given to the right location. If you have been given to Quest to Unite Africa, please do not give using Q2UA 400. It's now Q2UA. Q2UA. Simple Q2UA. If you would like to donate, if the Most High is putting it on your heart to donate, please donate at quest2uniteafrica.org. That way, we can be able to capture all the donations. So when our 501c3 designation comes in, you have a taxable or tax deductible account of your giving. So I'm shaloming like that, Sister Judy, because I told you last night I was tired. Hallelujah. Brother Michael, shalom.
Shalom, brother. How you all doing?
Doing pretty good. There's a couple topics. Let me get down to it, and then I'll bring you up on in here. So a couple things I want to go on over, and then we'll touch base.
Hmm.
So first of all, I have the link pinned on in here. If you all would like to join, this is what it's all about. Q2UA is Quest to Unite Africa, the diaspora, as well as the folks on the continent. And this is an interesting week. I'd love to hear from our folks on the continent because of what had just gone down as of yesterday, our time. Very interesting. I also have on in here Sister Betty, paging Sister Betty. Now paging Sister Betty, please hop on line one because we need to get some follow up with Mr. Ken, and I want you all to hear it first here. So we'll have that down the line. Um, so we'll see how that goes, family. But again, Mr. Ken is in our prayers. If you didn't know what happened earlier this week with Mr. Ken, this was on a discussion panel we had on Wednesday. And so this is near and dear. This should be near and dear to everybody. But the reason that this is so near and dear to me is because I only live about an hour away from Sister Betty. And Sister Betty, her area is still considered Tampa Bay area, Central Florida. And it's kind of weird, even though it's Tampa Bay, Central Florida. She's only about 20 minutes from Disney World. Let me just switch in that and give you that perspective. She's only 20 minutes away from Disney World. And if you don't know, here in Florida, Disney World is like the busiest place ever. But where she's at a little, a little bit from there, it's still kind of rural ish. But people live there and make the drive to Orlando all the time because it's only like 45 minutes. And so during that time, Mr. Ken, who is a I would say a neighbor of her shop, Oregon Denal, a cafe that is there in Lake Wales. Mr. Ken, owns a property there where he has a parking space for his biomedical waste truck. And Mr. Ken's been doing that for a couple of years. Mr. Mr. Ken has been approached by Betty and her son Arthur for a couple of probably for a couple years now to talk to him about the transition over to the continent. And listen, a lot of our people, we say, "Oh, you know what? Now's not the time. I don't really know, and this and that." Let me tell you this: the Most High will give you a catalyst moment, that moment of clarity. And I'm not trying to downplay what happened to Mr. Ken, but I do want to say that that can happen to any one of us. And let me give you the details. Because for me, my dad is getting ready to turn 70 years old this year. Mr. Ken is 70 years old, same age as my dad. So when he parks his truck, they've had this thing for years, but just recently, the school where it's a dance studio where Mr. Ken's business is located at, it's adjacent to that dance studio. So of course, during that time as he's getting off of work, he's parking his truck and people are parking in the parking spot. It is a parking spot that is showing, this is reserved for this. So it's clearly marked, it's clearly defined. And I'm going to tell you, look, I've been there. So I laid eyes on that and I saw how that cul-de-sac goes into the businesses that Miss Betty and her son own. So a previous confrontation, Mrs. Betty's sons were there to really break up any idea of a fight because, you know, there's some big boys. And white supremacists don't love to go. They don't like to tussle with black folks that can easily defend themselves. On this particular occasion, on Tuesday afternoon, Mr. Ken confronted one of the parents there who, to note, who was a Tesla driver. I just put that on in there. Arthur gave me the details, and I just run with that. And when that happened, the driver got mad, and he was in the building with presumably with the other children watching. And as Mr. Ken was walking away, he got punched twice in his shoulder, and as Mr. Ken turned around to defend himself, you're feeling impacts on your body, so you're gonna go and turn around and see what is happening. He swings for the man, misses, and the man body slams Mr. Ken, a 70-year-old black man, to the ground. Is there no shame anymore?
Nope.
There's
He
no
felt like
shame.
he felt like he was Superman when he did that.
Yeah, you got to beat up on an old black man.
Oh
And you
yeah.
know, he went to the bar that night. It's like, yeah, guess what I got a chance to do? I got a chance to beat up on a black dude.
Mm-hmm. But he ain't gonna give him the full detail. 70 years old, 5'8".
No, no, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So the police were actually called in that altercation, and here's the worst thing about it: the police did nothing. No charges were pressed. Nothing was there because you want to know what they take care of their own, and so it's embarrassing. Because listen, when you're in those particular areas of Florida, I know. I think about that all the time with my uncle. And now he's in a debilitated condition with my aunt in Southern Ocala. Man, you got the good old boy system all around here in Florida. So, of course, with Mr. Ken and his predicament of being a business owner, those types of things, believe it or not, and I know we all know because a lot of us live in rural areas and rural communities, for the sake of peace. This is what we say, for the sake of peace, not trying to be a bother, not trying to stir things on up. We'll try to let it go. But it wears on you because you want to know why. Now you begin to understand if they can do that thing to you physically, what's the limit? There's no limit there. So, for the sake of niceties, you have to understand you're being a mat for white supremacists to walk over. And so Arthur got the story from Mr. Ken. Arthur gave Mr. Ken information to go to talk to the authorities to get charges pressed. And that's where we're at right now, family. We don't know what actions have been taken.
But if that was a 70-old white man that got
Hmm.
slammed by a black man,
Hmm.
now how long has this been now since we talked about this when we first
Wednesday night, exactly. Wednesday night.
yeah. Now just look at it. Today is Friday.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. Who was that? Said every dog has his day.
Yeah. But let me tell you this, because I don't think I want to drill down to this, and this is where this is vitally important to what you are seeing, and I want you to truly consider this. I want you to understand why Quest to Unite Africa is so important, because I get these emails all the time, Brother Karras, what's Quest to Unite Africa? We're not a bank.
Hmm?
We're not a bank at Quest to Unite Africa. We're not an investment vehicle. We don't have a prospectus at Quest Unite Africa. What Quest Unite Africa is, we are a nonprofit organization. Our goal is to link the diaspora with the continent through critical infrastructure and economic development. Do you want to know what that simply means? Helping out our people on the continent, telling them who we are, meeting them face to face, letting them know that we are their brothers and their sisters. Because we get too wrapped up in this Babylonian system. Well, I need to have a return on the investment. Let me explain this thing to you of what just happened yesterday with BRICS. And I'm still trying to check these reports to understand the veracity of this. Let me explain to you what's going on, and the folks that want the Babylonian thought process of what their return on investment is rather than cultivating a relationship, because relationships carry more weight than any dollar
You ain't
that you
joking.
think you hold.
Preach, brother.
Let me explain to you all, when you're holding on to your funds thinking that you're holding on to a wealth that is getting shot up every day by the world. This week in South Africa just admitted six more BRICS nations. BRICS plus six. I let people know there's no secret. I'm in school working on my doctorate degree. My doctorate degree is on BRICS and the expansion of BRICS due to racial superiority tactics. Part of my dissertation when I started this back in 2020, I had to take a break because I had to get a job. and then I went back to school March. Was seeing the expanse of bricks in 2020 and looking at how bricks was getting ready to really up the game. And now you see how bricks is upping the game. I don't want to just break you off my dissertation here and do any type of dissertation defenses. But now you're starting to see studies after studies, impact after impact, conference after conference, right? Rumor after rumor. And then what ends up happening? Those rumors begin to have validity. And guess what? The number one central or central focus point is the decline of the dollar. And that has been going on, and now you understand what is happening. Oh, hold on to your wealth, your mothballs,
Hmm.
because that's what they're getting ready to turn it into. Where $1 will just be the equivalent. Think about this. $1 is the equivalent of 2 cents. A little less than 2 cents. How can you survive in a world where most of your items, your resources come from, your finished products come from? And now your finished products, just think about this. Now there's going to be a 500% markup. Someone explain that to me. How can you survive? It's economic warfare on the dollar. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to literally have a line of communication with our brothers and sisters. Because sometimes, just sometimes, it's the simplest relationships that save you. This is what happens. And I think the Most High that with the ideas that our brother started off with earlier this year, to just come together and do something simple would have a reverberating effect to this day, right now, this day and age. Because when you have one bricks dollar, this is supposedly, this is purported. I still need to get veracity on here. This is what they're trying to say. This is what they're trying to produce. One bricks dollar would then equal 55 US dollars. That's economic warfare on the US dollar. That's economic warfare, especially for anybody that's here in the United States. Oh, and guess when they want to try and do that? In about 60 some days, really less than, 67 days and counting. But who's counting? November 1st. That's what they're trying to say. I think, and me personally speaking, we'll see. That's an awfully quick move on that type of an economic development.
They are moving kind of fast, though, Paris.
But again, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do November 1st, it's like psych October 1st. Who knows? They
Mm,
could say November 1st. Now we're going to push it back to January 1st.
mm.
This is where we're at, family. With Quest 2 Night Africa, I'd already brought this on up about 2 months ago. That was about 2.5 months ago. ensuring that we have an NGO, non governmental organization. And that was through Region 6 Council for Diaspora Affairs. That was brought up in June, late May, June. Because when I was there with Mike in May, I recognized that need. I recognized that need. Even with Mike, was saying, "Look, Karis, we need to do this, this, and this." When I was in Dodoma, the capital of Tanzania, meeting with the Tanzanian lawmakers, I recognized that need. Quest Unite Africa is a an umbrella, but we still need an NGO that's based on the political affairs. See, we do the business affairs, we want to do commercial things, we want to do residential things, but the problem is we don't have the political safety. And then when we see places like Ghana do land recapturing operations, then we look crazy. Yes, you can get land in Tanzania. The problem is you won't actually own the land.
Hmm.
And if you do get land, your land may be so remote you may have to just end up walking to it before you can get something in there to develop it, before you can get some machinery in there to take out some trees, to grade some roads. And then when that land gets stripped bare, guess what? And those rains come, then all that rock is exposed and it starts to create dangers and mudslides. See, we tend to have a shallow perception. Because why? Because we've been blessed in this Babylonian system. We have been blessed. Oh well, they'll grade the roads for us. They'll make it accessible. We'll just call the county. We'll just call the city. We'll just call this. We'll call that. Paging Solo Soul. Paging Solo Soul. Please click the link if you can give us 10 minutes of your time. And here's the thing: the Tanzanians, they don't have any overwhelming need to help us on out. And on top of that, they're the ones that's in the position to win. And they know that they're going to win because they see what's happening. This is why, look, you got to go big or go home. And here is what you're competing against because guess what? The BRICS are doing it 55 to 1. BRICS nations are doing this. They're saying, look, we're going to go big because why? We're going to collapse this dollar. We're saying, look, we need to utilize and come together while there's still value in this thing. Because then what happens after November 1st? And we're not able to do at least what we need to do to get into these other nations and to lay down a substantial framework of diplomatic efforts for sixth region of diaspora affairs for the African Union. You realize the African Union threw us the lifeline. Are we going to be able to support our lifeline or just say, you know what, forget it, I'll just let it go? That's folly. You got to use what you have right now. That's what the Most High does. When the when Yahusha said, "Pick up your mat and walk," well, did you hear from the guy that was crippled? No, Father. Can you pick me up? Can you carry me around? Now, I just want to be on your back. No. Because why? Because we are empowered. We are empowered by the Most High's grace to do. Let not your hands be slack, Judah. That's Deuteronomy 30 and 7. We can do this because a relationship is, I'm telling you, is better than any wealth. You want to know why? Do you see all the wealth that's acquired here? But they don't have a relationship. So guess what? Now their wealth is coming to an end. And that's why you have the predicaments that you have, especially with Mr. Ken. Solo Soul, Shalom. Can you share a little bit of the developments of what's going on with Mr. Ken since we last spoke on Wednesday?
Shalom, fam.
Come on, brother.
Man, I wouldn't say it's the best news, man. So, Mr. Ken came by the cafe yesterday, and after he went to the police station, and you can tell he was a little down because somebody got some video footage, and I'm trying to do my best to kind of get some of that footage. But a couple of the parents, I guess, that was in that little unit, they came outside during the altercation, and they videoed some. But the thing that they videoed was Mr. Ken trying to retaliate. Trying to. I think he tried to throw a punch or whatever, and the guy, moved his arm and then grabbed him by the neck and slammed him to the ground.
Mm,
Now, what this messed up system we in here is saying that because he's the initiator, if because he initiated it, what they would have to do is arrest both of them, and then they
mm-hmm,
would have to go before a judge or whatever and prove their case. Which, like I told Mr. Key, I still don't believe that this man, 30-something-year-old man, can hit a 70-year-old man, slam him to the ground like that, and they have footage and they not arrest him. So come to find out that this guy is actually a firefighter.
mm-hmm.
So now that I know that he's a fire, and I didn't find this out until yesterday afternoon. So now that I know he's a firefighter, I'm gonna um I'm gonna find out his name. I'm gonna get his name. Mr. Ken didn't get even a copy of the police report like I asked him to, so we can get his name. But we actually know some people. My mom actually knows somebody that works. She know the chief. So the thing is, this is a small town, and these people talk, and I know somebody
Mm-hmm.
they know about what happened. So Mr. Ken he's saying that he's not gonna pursue it any further because he doesn't, want to deal with that part, going to court and all this other stuff. But this sad thing is, speaking to Mr. Ken yesterday, it made me realize like he don't think like us. Like, he still got that mindset of
Yeah.
he think like the white man. Like to me, when I was speaking to him, it really bothered me because he's just not on the same page. Like, you know, he it's a lot of fear with him too.
He talking as if he trying to leave well enough alone attitude.
Yeah, always on the fence, man. Like, I don't know. Is it really like that? Do you think it's really racist? Do you think? And he know what it is because he said it to me. But it,
He
I don't
he
know,
got
man.
he got confronted with it, and let me just tell you that his the normalcy bias, all those other heuristics, all those other things that honestly you don't understand what's actually happening to Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken's perception of this world is being shattered and has been shattered because you want to know why? Because now he has to directly confront it. And unfortunately, that's what you get. And I'm not trying to bag on folks from the islands or the Caribbean, but that's what you get. You have a lot of these folks who come on over here. They say, "Oh, this is the best place in the world. This is that." Oh, that doesn't really happen. It only happens to those folks that were born here.
Nah, I told him it happened to all of us, man.
Yep.
Like,
And then he got confronted with it, and now guess what? He's shell shocked because now he has to actually see
yeah, he.
reality.
So I can't even say what's gonna happen next with it because if I don't push him to get this information from me, and I'm trying not to, go because I already know because the lady, the owner of that business that's next door to him, this lady is actually going around showing people the film. So she went to one of our white neighbors in the backside of the building, and she actually showed the film to him. And Mr. Ken, hadn't even seen it. So she went to this, of course she's a white woman, so she go back there and they just going around the complex, they gossiping. So they get on film Mr. Ken, saying some profanity or whatever. Of course this man that y'all didn't body slam him to the ground, of course he has some things to say. So she just it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's the poisoning going on, right? It's a perception because why? Because they know how to stay on code,
That
and
how about
that's
that's what I
exact.
said to Mr. Ken yesterday.
And we don't know how to do that. I'm gonna tell you that we don't know how to do that. This is really it's really a sad, practical case study in understanding captivity, and we look like we're the crazy ones
There you go.
until we see somebody who's of a vulnerable population group that should literally be protected under all these other conditionings and guess or conditions and laws and statutes. And guess what? It doesn't happen. Because why? Because now here's the next thing. Because Mr. Ken's not going to say anything, or Mr. Ken is, understanding how the system goes. Now, what he's doing is that he is empowering them to go after someone else. And that doesn't
Exactly.
stop with that. It's, hey, you didn't want to do something. So now, guess what? There's going to be blood on somebody's hands. Somebody's going to get murdered. It
eventually.
always happens. It always happens.
Yeah, I
Well,
told Mr. King
go ahead. Go ahead.
he's gonna that guy is gonna be confronted with the correct person, and they gonna handle him. And you know what? The weirdest thing happened yesterday, and this never really happens in our unit. Like, so the paramedics came and just parked in the front of our building. Now it was like nothing going on, and so I was at first I didn't want to read into it, but this one of them got out of the car and was like walking around the complex. Now me and my 8-year old, we inside of the cafe and we can see them. And I was like, why are these people sitting out here? Like, that's weird. So they sat out there for a good little minute, like as if they were waiting on somebody. Um, and then they drove. Eventually, it was like 15, 20 minutes, and they finally, got in and left. It was, I don't know, man. I just feel like now that that has happened, and all of those people, especially the fire department, paramedics, and all them, they all rub shoulders together. It's something
Hmm.
going on, man. It's
Yeah.
something. It's something going on. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's what that's called. They're coding up for the most part. They're on code. And you have to understand that's how white supremacy works. This is how white supremacy insulates itself. Do you get you have to understand, and for our people, we're just finally getting it because now we're finally able to see it and put two and two together. Now the nation see it and they're saying, all right, we're just going to break you. And we're just going to continue to break you. We're going to snap you into twigs because you love your wealth. And we're going to break your wealth. So, guess what? As their wealth gets broken, guess who is in the midst of Babylon? That's us.
Yep.
Don't think it's going to get better. It's not going to get better, family. Because why? Because they're going to think that in their fantasy land, they can just take it out on us. And that's going to be, they can take it out on all of us because we're all going to be docile, like Mr. Ken. we're all gonna just say, "Yo, please hit us in the face with another punch. We enjoy it." That's not the case.
Yep, sad day. But yeah, fam, I'll keep y'all updated, man.
All right, thank you, brother Arthur. Appreciate it, brother Rojo.
Hey,
Well,
what's up? Thank you. Thank you, brother. And hey, speaking of, since I'll try to keep the first part in line with your title, um, I got some possibly good news. I don't want to put my tarnished name on it, but it seems like the West might be starting to bow the knee to Niger, um, Burkina Faso, and
hmm
a few other places out there. They straight up told them if they want to have a chance to mine for resources, go build out there. And I've just been hearing some whispers of a couple of big corporations talking about doing just that and trying to cut some kind of deal with Niger anyway. So I really don't know how far that's going. That's why I'm treating it like here's not necessarily like hearsay because I'm obviously mentioning it here, but it's just something that I've just been hearing. And also, it seems like the Boers, if I can say that, uh, down there in South Africa are starting to kind of, well, they're not bending the knee, they're getting their knees broken because the EFF, they're not playing, they're deboing people down there. So just kind of, we're all kind of headed there anyway. So there's a lot going on in there. And that's just some tidbits of good news. Some tidbits of bad news too is Ethiopia's kind of mad at us because one of us over here did took care of our business against somebody who tried to, I'll say grape, like grapes, like sour grapes, sweet grapes, somebody's daughter, and he got the brakes beat off of him pretty viciously. And they're saying that it should have been handled a different way, should have gone to the police, which they did go to the police. The police said that it's hearsay, it's her word against his word, so they really can't do anything. It's a civil matter. So the father of that little girl got civil. Anyway, I'm just kind of just dropping. Oh, and Trump is already monetizing his mugshot. He has some merch called "No Surrender," and his mug and his face is on the shirts or whatever they're going to be
yeah.
selling with that.
hmm
So just watch out. I think his side is starting to mobilize, fam.
Yeah, there's no shames in this game, and that's what I was gonna say. Look, you're giving that thing a week to ferment before Labor Day. This thing is hot, and a lot of us don't understand how hot this is. This is in a time where, in my opinion, this is worse than the '60s. Because you want to know why? Because in the '60s, the world didn't care. In the '60s, you didn't really hear much coming out of Africa or Asia or even Europe. But now there is a concerted effort to bring down this place. And nobody wants to be in a building that's set for demolition. You want to be as far away from that building as possible, and we're still in the building while the charges are being set for that building to have a self implosion. And that's what it really feels like. That's where we're sitting at this time. They're setting the charges, and we're still in here. And we're talking about, excuse me, we're still in here. Remember Isaiah 60? We're waiting for some folks to to get
Hey,
us.
hey
Most
Karis,
God willing. Yeah, go
I have
ahead.
a, I have a serious question for you, and I'm not being funny because I'm wearing it every day, but I only have one. Do you want me to go ahead and send it on to you? I have body armor.
I don't need body armor. I'm good.
Well, I I wear mine almost every day, and I mean I'm not gonna say too much, but yes, I do love candy bars without the sugar. So I mean it's and I'm here in Tennessee where it's red, but it's kind of temp neutral, but not over the past few months, man. This is really getting hot. A lot of brothers and sisters are starting to feel the heat, and it's not coming from the police. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, yeah. I would say, yeah, do everything that you can to protect yourself. I advocate for protecting yourself. Don't go on out there and try to instigate. Do not do that. Protect yourself, right? Humble as doves, right? Wise as serpents. You know, we have to be. We're in that time frame. We're in that time period. And people are trying to say, no, it's going to get better. We said, no, it's going to get worse. And we know it's going to get worse because why? Because it's the Most High that has to wake his people up. And he has to. Do you think that people are going to get happy when their dollar collapses, when their dollar crumbles? And that's what this threat is over. I'm not saying this. This isn't something we're just making up. This is something that came out of bricks. You have Ethiopia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran. You want to know what that did? That's messing up the oil corridor. So if oil goes up, then guess what? This is the law of economics. You have a cartel of folks pushing the oil up. Guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to push the price of oil up, whether you like it or not, because that is going to be the market demand, and you will fall in equilibrium.
Get ready for $15 a gallon.
Rojo, you best believe. You saying 15? I was thinking 80 the other day. I said, "Oh my goodness."
Oh my god. Ooh.
Nobody driving.
Yeah,
This
no, exactly.
this stuff here. We have a whole lot uh, coming at us at one time.
Hmm.
Um, if we're not looking at the political upheaval, the financial upheaval, the justice upheaval, we are all we are the people in the middle of all of this. We're right dead smack in the middle.
Hmm.
You have brothers and sisters worrying about their dollar. I mean, which is to a degree is it's okay to do that. Use your wisdom. But if you think that dollar is your god, you're in for a rude awakening.
Hmm.
You are in for a rude awakening. And this is some of the stuff that Babylon has taught us. We just living here, being born and raised here. We see the ups and we see the downs. I don't care what president was in power while we was here. Not one of them, not one did anything for us. Not one. All we did was we managed to get through those 4 years. Then here come another one. We managed to go through those 4 years.
Hmm.
Then we go through another. Tell me one president. I said, look here. We need to lay something down for these people. Not one. And we barely can get mention of the historical trauma that African Americans has been put in and is still under
Hmm.
with this rising of brothers and sisters in Africa, as well as here in the UK.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, brother Mike. I just want to give a quick update. and I'm sorry for the interruption. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, Kentucky and Texas are halting school. I mean, as far as in-person classes, they're going statewide in both states, online.
Really?
What?
Yep, yep, they are. The
Oh man,
both of
something going on because I ain't received mail in a week. I have not received mail in a week. And I'm like, is the post office? I mean, what's going on? And my mother called me, Michael Ray. I don't know what's going on. She down in Arkansas. She kind of concerned. She said something ain't right.
Mm.
Something is not right.
next Friday. Keep y'all's candy bars close by. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, look, I tend to think of it like this. I was looking at some things behind the scenes. I had some discussions behind the scenes because if I discuss everything out here on this YouTube platform, folks would think they'd be losing their minds. Not only would they be losing their minds, but let me just tell you, look, YouTube will be shutting me down. They'd be shutting down both channels. But we can see what's going on. It's just that wow, that is so quick. We're not talking that they're going to try and do this next year, not next November.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally saying in 60 some days. You got 60 some days to hide your money or do something with your money. You know what I'm saying? 60 some days to bury your money. Just think. Where would you go? What would you do?
The things you need is a housing, clothing, and food.
Hmm.
Now, when you start going beyond that, we could be tinkering with a little bit of selfishness, because don't get me wrong, yeah, we was raised in Babylon, born here. We know the ins and outs pretty much. But at the same time, we sometimes in our lifetime we got to break it back down to the necessities.
Hmm.
The necessities. And I know that we, like the scripture said, we've been spoiled. We used to electricity. We used to running water. But shoot, I mean, you better not drink it. I mean, you could
Hmm.
drink it, but I mean, who? There's a whole lot of questions to that now. And you have cooking gas in your houses, but now the pipes in your street, on your street, for your cooking gas, they ain't gonna tell you this. Why you think a house just may blow up? Because those pipes are like over 100 years old.
They're all old. Yep. It's old
All old.
infrastructure. Yes.
I'm telling you. Now, you see a lot of streets here in Chicago and in the suburbs dug up. But trust and believe, I noticed all of them are real nice neighborhoods where they got those streets dug up and they replacing those pipes. But go in the hood, you may see one about not even a block. Well, maybe a block, and that's it. And that's going to sit there for like a year before they say they're done.
Hmm.
It's when I say this, stand on the watch as to who you know you are. The Messiah is he's the best example you can give. They couldn't touch the Almighty. We go get whatever is the closest thing to him. They got him. And now here we are 2,000 years later. We can't get to him, but we go get to the ones that are related to him. We go do any and everything, or we cannot let them know who they are. Oh, they found out who they are. Now you got Hashatan coming against you. You got him around here slamming a 70-year-old man. But now you think about this. What average black man in his 30s thinking about slamming a 70-year-old white man? for a person to maintain that mentality, you ain't gonna that percentage is gonna be very low. It's going to be very low. But for them, the moral compass, please, it's shot. And then they go sit right here and gloat about it. And they're going to show what Mr. Kim was saying and so on. So they're going to give the bad thing about him, because everything about that brother, especially if his skin is black, that's all they need to see. Oh, he's black. Everything about him is supposed to be of a negative connotation. This is what this world is pushed out. Mm-hmm. They push this out. They all about it. The respect that black men get is ridiculous. And if they do got to deal with a black man, what do? Start from the bottom, work up to the top. We find a light-skinned black man. We can use him as a liaison. But that dark-skinned one, I just don't have no respect for him. And could be the smartest one out of the whole group. But this is how they think. This is how they get down. This stuff has taken on a whole nother level.
Hey, hold on, Mike. I'm sorry to barge in again, and please forgive me, brother. But I just heard something on the rumor mill. I have electricity, so everything in my pad is electric. But I've been hearing that come this winter, a lot of people might be getting their gas cut off. Their gas feeds. It's only something that came through the rumor mill, so I'm just letting the family know.
But think about this: it should get cut off. Let me tell you the reason why. That is a death trap. If this nation get hit, they know what to hit. You talking about a tsunami of explosions?
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
Yep.
A tsunami of explosions. You live in some type of building high rise, man. I mean that right there. I worked for AT&T, and I used to go down in those manholes, and we had to purge them first. We had to blow air down there to raise the gases to come out, so we can go down there and do work. And when I say everything is down there, brother, trust and believe, it's some of everything down there. And but you got to have that. There's a gas gauge you got to have in that manhole. If that gauge go up to the red and it start beeping, it's time for you to get out of there. We had a couple of guys, 3 technicians that was down in the hole, and they didn't have the equipment down, and they died. They just went to sleep. They fell asleep because of the gases, and that's what the gas does. It make you feel sleepy. You fall asleep, but you're dying. That's what's really happening. So when I say the gases, bruh, big cities, Prepper, he telling people, on his channel and things, they already know. And if you look at some of the movies, what do they always say? Oh, you got to get out the city. Everybody knows when trouble hits, the city is the last place you need to be. That's the last place you need to be. And this is not me sitting here trying to scare people to get out the city. But my thing is, use common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Use common sense. I mean, we have our brothers in Africa they're wakening up, saying this, saying that. We need one Africa. We need to come together. We need our family, the diaspora, to come home. They know where the education is at. That's one thing they do know. And it ain't just the brothers there that knows this. It's the people, all the European lands know this. If they were so hung up in this hatred of us, why are we still in other lands? Why are we still in other lands? They know for a fact if we send these people home to Africa, what they built up here, not just in the United States, we talking about all of Europe and the United States. What they built up, they go do that in Africa. We cannot go in there and we can't go in there no more and just think we go take what we need unless we go bomb them. But we got to have the materials to bomb them.
Mm-hmm.
But all the materials that we need to bomb them is in Africa. So now what would they do? So now they scared now. The big gun is in Africa. That big gun is in Africa. Their food is in Africa. When I tell these brothers, when I say to these brothers, this one brother, he just did a show yesterday. He said the problem with us is we don't move as a group. He said a lot of brothers want to go to Africa on their own, by themselves. And he said 90% of them fail miserably. They go there with $30,000, $50,000 and they come back to the United States broke. Because you moving by yourself. He said the moment we start to learn, we need to move as a unit, as a group.
Mm-hmm.
The stronger you're going to be. And that's what we've been advocating since we started this. We need to move as a group. Not saying that we're going over there being separate. Nuh-uh. We talking about mingling with the brothers and sisters there. Because we all are one. We're not trying to go over there and talk about no a little black America. Man, I wish I would go there and talking that dumb stuff. But this is what we're aiming to do. And there's some information we have that we have learned over the centuries that we need to put, we really true, when I say this, we need to put I'm going to go with Karis, go big or go home. We got to put forth an extreme effort to make this happen for us. When I say us, I'm talking about us. All of us. We ain't just go sit up and talk about no, just the African Americans. Man, I wish I would be around here talking that dumb stuff like that. We talking about all of us. Because there is a fear of us being on that continent. And that fear, it is a reality to them. Because right now, this reality that now they getting rid of the West. They don't want them in Africa. They starting to see it now. Obadiah, the whole book. If you all may have read it and you read it, and then you will see exactly what Yah said He's going to cause on Esau, and that is at least one thing out of that. He said he will cause you will be a resentment to the nation. And the nations are resenting them with the greatest utmost. I'm sorry, but what were you saying, Brother Rojo?
No, I was just gonna say, if you are Karis, y'all have my email. If y'all could email me, because I took your advice last week, Karis. I looked at at your tier system thing, and I want to be a part of the second tier. And if you could send me the email on how to, I mean, I might still, I'm gonna still keep the Patreon too. So you already know what I'm doing on the Patreon, but I want to join that tier system thing because I like what I was reading on that.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, and I thank you for you mentioning that, brother Rojo. Yeah, so we have a tier system. It's part of our monthly subscriptions. How you can support us monthly. So for our first level, that first level is the gold level. That starts at about 250 a month. where we'll provide a gift, just a way of saying thank you. And all throughout the year, we'll provide other little things that'll come to you. Just gifts, other uh, promotions that we may be doing. We may give you, like 25% off, for a certain time at the Q2UA shop. That Q2A shop should be up and going come sometime next week. Shout out to Brother Fast Nickel and Big Red for getting that knocked on out. It's starting to look pretty phenomenal. But what that does is that gives you're doing something active, and we're working to ensure um, that we are able to get those inroads and keep those inroads. Because here's the thing, family, we have inroads on the ground. It's just now we have to maintain it. You just can't go on over and be like, well, here you are. No, we have to maintain a property, and we're trying to get properties for having our shipping, for our container space. We have a location on the port that oversees the port as an office, but there has to be much more to that. So that's what we're providing. For the second tier, that second tier is the diamond tier, and the diamond tier is where you get two gifts a year, and with those two gifts again, those are something that will be personalized items, because we want to make sure that how much we value and support our folks that sponsor Quest Unite Africa. And that starts at about 500 a month. Our biggest one is the diamond level, excuse me, the platinum level. That starts at 1,000. And that's where you'll get also a personalized gift and something that's signed off by our executive team. And I'm thinking a plaque or something else, that really shows our appreciation for your dedication. No, this is a donor. This is a nonprofit organization. It's a nonprofit organization. The nonprofit is there to provide inroads to the continent, because we are making inroads to other nations. That's what this thing is all about. If you're making inroads into these other nations, and guess what? The other nations begin to talk. They begin to see what you're doing. They're beginning to address.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yes, I just got something. Yeah, so the shop should be up and running, but those are sort of the things that we want to do. I want to make sure that we can start to have, semi-annual get-togethers in places like Atlanta, in places like Chicago, where we have a large majority of our Q2A volunteers or other supporters, so they can see us face to face. Being able to have quarterly exchanges with our people on the ground on the continent, so you can see what we're doing and producing these mother newborn kits. Right now, we want to engage our counterparts in Rwanda by providing 100 mother newborn kits, and that's about $30 a kit. But what's in the kit provides life saving support life sustaining support for infants and mothers during that delivery and post delivery care. These are some of the things in order to, if you all want to understand how an investment works, you have to invest in the people first. The people are the investment. How do you think that they get rice? They
Mm.
don't do it with machines. How do you think that they get gold out the ground? They don't do it with machines. There's no AI stuff on out there. It's all about people. We've just gotten too Babylon focused of I need this, I need that. No, no, no. You gather to your people and your people will take care of you.
Off
That's
the
how that
top.
goes.
Off the top.
That's literally what the word says. But we've been saying, oh well, I'm going to throw my money here. What
Mm-hmm.
money without intent is really folly. And now you're seeing that because now they have these hedge fund managers and all these other folks that have that deal with investments. And guess what they've been doing now? They've just been sitting on the money. Because you want to know what happens with that money? It doesn't work. Their money's not working. Or if their money has been put to work, guess what it's put to work doing? It's put to work in projects like the Niger or the oil pipeline, and then it's getting stopped up in Niger. What do you see as a return on your investment? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of folks don't see much. They'll look at their little returns. I used to do that all the time with my little Charles Schwab account. Oh, I made 25 cents. All right, great.
You know what it is, Garrett?
Yeah.
Um, People looking for when you they're looking for power. And don't get me wrong, there's a measure of power that do come with money, but it's that mentality that's going to either make you or break you when it comes to money. And the thing about we need a return, I need a return on my investment. Well, who taught you that? Esau taught you that. The nation taught you that. You need a return on your investment because that's what they used to.
Hmm.
They used to a return on their investment. And I'm like, so I think we really need to keep um, this Babylonian mentality in its proper place. Because when you're thinking, you're talking about a return on your investment, it seems to some people, well, I don't want to work as hard. All right, cool, fine. Be smart about it. But at the same time, be respectful about it. You have enough money where you have people working for you, so be it. Do what you need to do. But at the same time, the people that's working for you, they should be paid accordingly. In order for you to maintain um, respect amongst your brothers and sisters. You know, we talk this stuff, bro. Um, and I mean, I know what we're trying to do. I know exactly what we're trying to do because we seeing things that a lot of brothers and sisters have no idea what's on the horizon.
Hmm.
Have no idea. And whether you woke, and especially for the one that still sleep, man, good night. That is a very dangerous position to be in with a lack of knowledge.
It, yeah. So, Mike, you touched something on it you touched the nail on the head. Listen, this is really counter to the West notion of being involved and having the relationship with the people. See, what the West is finding out, they didn't really want to have a relationship. And now, if you understand, you are seeing that the West is being kicked out of those places that they once had a traditional stronghold over. Because you want to know why? Their whole mentality was, well, I need to get a return on my investment. We've seen what that does to have a return on the investment. They don't care about you. They don't care about how you're living. They don't care about your livelihood. So all you're doing is just stressing yourself on out trying to produce some fantastic fanatical number that's never there. And then when they don't hit the numbers, guess what? You're gone. Tell me how that works. And then when it doesn't work, guess what happens? Well, sorry, we had to shut everything down because, we never met our margins and yada, yada. Am I lying about that?
That is absolutely the truth.
That's the
We'll cut
truth.
you off.
Because why? Well, here, let me sit down with our people. Let's pay our people a great wage and let our people work. Let them do something dignified. Let them do something that's showing their people what dignity looks like, what respect looks like. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, they haven't had it. They don't know what that is. So we're trying to show them that. The investment of it is investing in people. It's a people investment. I know. Sorry. These are words and terms that they don't use very often here in the West. But let me tell you where they do use it at a lot. They use it in Europe a lot. Don't believe me? Oh, look at those Scandinavian countries. They are all about the work-life balance, work-life privilege.
Hey, hold on, Karis, before you continue. Hey, drop that link in there for me, won't you? Um, where I can go get started on that tier thing.
All right.
No, you're right, Karis. Start with the people. And I was one that was advocating villages. If you go to the villages, trust and believe, those villages has one, maybe two or three gifts. They go grow something that everybody pretty much in that village want to grow. It's going to be corn, pineapple, rice, uh, sunflower seeds for this, for the oil. It's going to be something. So it's all about using common sense.
Hey, Mikhail, I have a question for you and Karis.
Mhm.
Since y'all are out there on the ground, y'all got boots on the ground over there. As y'all know, or maybe y'all don't, but I'm pretty sure y'all do. I'm going to assume y'all do. Y'all remember when a Better Buggy used to the black owned farming company out of Atlanta, Georgia?
I
It
remember that because Lisa Cabrera used to um she would she she was hyping that up all the time.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
In fact, she was a they had a little deal going where she would promote them
Yeah.
because they had a business thing, and I bought from them, and I'm gonna tell you, in my 51 years, it's been a long time since I've tasted fruits and vegetables that fresh and that pure.
Mhm.
Well, this is America, so I guess they got squeezed and they had to shut down. They tried to make a comeback, but then they had to shut down for good.
Mm.
Now, because you and Mikhail over there, Michael over there, is there a way y'all can make any inroads with farmers out there and perhaps I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to say too much, but I mean something because
Well,
this
well,
food is making me sick over here.
well, absolutely. That's what we would like to do. Again, being what we would like to do and having the capacity to do it, those are two different things. You have to understand that um, when you're trying to when you're trying to um, promote or provide for those particular economic endeavors, you can get fruits and vegetables here in the United States a lot easier because you generally have refrigerated trucks in the United States. On over there, you really do not have
Mm-mm.
fruits and vegetables. You don't have refrigerated trucks. And so that's what creates issues. And therefore, guess what you don't have? You don't also have very functional roadways. So what may take you, 3 or 4 hours generally will probably take you about 8 or 9 hours because the roadways are just not functional. They don't
Okay,
know how to. You see what
I
I'm
hear you
saying?
there, Karis. But can y'all get like reefers that you could put on like ships or 18 wheelers or something?
I
Just
mean,
asking. Well, I guess
We
reefers are like uh, trailer refrigerators.
you can, but there's also dynamics with that too
mhm.
because a lot of those um, storage units and those storage facilities, guess where they go to? They go to Asia.
Mhm.
They
Oh,
go to the
okay.
Middle East. Yep.
See, I got one thing about it, bro. Is this? It ain't the fact that they can't get it. It's not the fact that they cannot get it. This stuff has been orchestrated for years.
Hmm.
Orchestrated now. This is the reason why when you go through the scripture and they say you living in Babylon, you're in captivity. Because the moment we Judah go back, no, we go the electrical grid. The brothers get together, they gonna know it's up and running. We're gonna
Hmm.
have those things. Now the problem is this.
No, I hear you, Michael. But what we're gonna do if we can't eat good food? If we can't eat
Well, no. You
non,
know what? Over there, we eat
uh
the food off the street. They be right there on the street cutting up these fruits and vegetables right there on the street. I kid you not, brother.
Hmm.
and they're clean.
Yeah, it's clean. Man, oh man, let me tell you something.
Wow.
Let me tell you
Okay.
something about them, man. And a
Well,
lot of
let me preface that. Let me preface that. Um, they try their best to maintain the cleanliness standards with what they
them,
can
yeah,
do.
yeah,
However,
yeah.
um, cleanliness is really, boy, how can I say this? It's a relative standard. It's a relative standard. So, you know, their level of clean may not be our level of clean.
Yeah.
You get
Oh,
what I'm telling you? So you
oh no,
have
no,
to
no.
really maintain, you're going to be washing those fruits and vegetables. They'll wash their fruits and vegetables, but they're washing it in dirty water. You get what I'm
Oh,
telling you? They're
no, that's
washing,
cool. That's
yeah.
cool, Kat. I'm good with that. As long as they're not putting, shellac roast
Oh
pieces
no
on
no
it.
no no! In
Okay.
terms of like a
Okay.
natural,
No.
a natural, holistic. I think, for lack of better words, right? Non-treated, non.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
no. It is all natural. Yeah, it's literally from the ground to the plate. That's
And
what
nothing
they
touched
do.
on it.
Nothing is touched on it. They don't have any type of, what not antibiotic, but anti-repellent type things, um, what is it that the farmers
Man,
use?
I'm so jealous of y'all. I am so jealous that y'all actually went out there and ate good food,
Oh
and we're
yeah,
stuck over here eating
and
this
and let me
garbage.
let me tell you, my body felt so much better. Um I was feeling so healthy, and when you feel healthy, you feel so energized. Yes, thank you, Mr. Spacely. Yeah, they don't really have the pesticides. They don't use pesticides like that. And if they use pesticides, it's like natural pesticides. Like they'll use different. All right, let me tell you. Let me tell you the pesticide that they use. Mike knows this. they burn a lot of bushes.
Oh yeah,
That's
they
their
do.
pesticides. They burn
Ain't
they,
nothing wrong with that.
they burn a lot of of different things, and what that does is that smoke, it gets the bugs on out of there, because when the bugs lay down, right, they'll lay down amongst the crops. But if you have that smoke burning right at dusk, they fly up into those trees and they get away from the crops because
Mm-hmm.
the smoke settles down. These are some of the things we just think of it as, oh, well, they're just burning just to burn. No, they're doing techniques to do what? To ensure that their food is clean and healthy. Because then you can digest it. And once it's digested, guess what? Your body feels good. You feel cleaned out. You feel cleared out. They don't do that here. Well, let's just spray this chemical on there. That chemical gets in your food. And then people are wondering, well, they have all these crazy, weird cancers.
Nah, they want to feed us cockroaches here. Sit up there and
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say no more because man, that's gonna I'm not gonna get your channel shut down, Karis. But they know what the heck they're doing, and it's a dirty game they're playing. I'm almost scared to eat anything, but
Well, I
I
mean,
don't want to.
it's a sense of control. It is literally a sense of control.
Hmm.
So now all right, look here. Um, let's start developing lab grown meats. We're going to we're gonna start the people first. We're gonna starve them first. Then we're gonna start introducing this food. They're gonna eat what we give them. That's a very dangerous position to be in. And you know what? And we put ourselves in it. We put ourselves in that position.
Oh,
Now, mhm,
another update. Sorry, whoever whoever participates in September 1, they will lose their SNAP benefits, their housing, and their Medicaid. So
September
I'm
1, what is that?
that's the great walkout where everybody either walks off their jobs or they just don't show up. It's like a unofficial strike. So these people are putting um tightening down the screws on people. I mean, I had no intention of participating in it anyway, and I don't get no benefits, so that would affect me one way or the other. But I'm just, these alerts keep on coming at me, and then they're talking about cutting out of 14 states. They're going to cut meat completely out of the diet, out
I
of the
saw that. I saw that. Yeah, yeah. For all those, go ahead, Rojo. Yeah, go ahead.
and one more thing. Um, the government is already the FDA. I don't know if it's the director or if it's a consultant for the FDA, but they're saying that it is not necessary or pertinent to ensure that like 60% of Americans have balanced meals, that
Hmm.
they don't even need to eat at all, that they could go days without eating. And I'm just asking, what is that pointing to? What have a lot of us been doing since 2015, since our awakening? Uh,
Hmm. Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
But this is what I mean. This is what we um been warned about. We've been warned about this stuff. Now we're trying to make moves to bring our people together to help our people because eventually, we will be getting them out of here. We'll be going back to the land where you originally are from. Whether you want to believe the scriptures or not, that's on you. But the world is showing you. The world is showing you what's about to happen and what they're trying to put in place. Or let me back that up. What they have already got in place. That's what they're doing. We've been warned about this. Now there's a warning about another epidemic. There's going to be another like us, another stay-at-home situation.
Mid September, you're right. Yes, sir.
And so now you're talking about me and my son. We got sick. And I'm like, nah, where's this stuff coming from? I mean, yeah, we got over it, boom. And back. I mean, if you all seen me and Karis on the show, and I was always clearing my throat every time. I would do it loudly too. And one day I was just laying up and I said, man, why in the world am I keep on always clearing my throat? And then one day I just went to the bathroom, looked in the back of my, just as red as all get out. Red as all get out. I get ear infection like I'm a newborn baby. And I'm like, wait a minute. So, I started doing my own research and everything to find out what do you do for something like this. And they told me, and I did, and it helped a great deal. I mean, I think I just cleared my voice just one time today. But man, if you go back and look at some of the old videos, I was always clearing my voice.
I heard you a couple of times. I thought you were sick in a deathbed or something. I just didn't want to say nothing, but you sounded pretty raggedy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh man, what are you talking about, Joe? Man, I was always clearing my voice throughout, and I couldn't understand that, man. I could not understand it. But then once I started doing the research and everything, boom, this what you, and I started doing it, boom, and it stopped. It stopped. But I'm just looking at all of these young cats dropping dead, having heart attacks. This stuff is not normal. This stuff is not normal.
Oh, hold on. I got another update. There are fires raging in East Texas right now and parts of Western Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. That's where that heat dome is sitting at. And see, there's going to be a lot more fires going on probably towards the end of this month just because of where that heat dome is sitting. So fires in Texas. Here in the Gulf pretty soon, there's going to be a major storm.
Oh yeah,
Probably sometime next week.
I was always thinking that when they talking about how the temperature, the Atlantic over there where you at, Karis, I was like, well, and they said, no, you get it because I think it got to like 90 something degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. But hey, this is the judgment on this nation. But a lot of people don't want to see that. A lot of people don't want to see that these nations are being judged. Y'all can say this to just it's not gonna come back void.
Yeah.
All of this stuff that is happening. Now you're seeing a situation on a world scene globally of what's going on. And now what do they call it? Climate control. This is the problem. That's what they telling the world. This is not the Almighty doing this. We will rebuild. We will rebuild. We will. They saying it so arrogantly. But then one day it's going to come when they go truly realize, oh no, we're not rebuilding. Matter of fact, we got to jump camp. Everybody here gonna have to jump camp. Period.
Well, especially with Alberta over there burning too. I mean, all that. Well, I guess Alberta, British Columbia, all that's on fire. That's kicking stuff down here. In fact, I can't. It was in California. They showed, and this was like, I'm looking at the picture right now. It's like within a day, maybe a day and a half. California had reddish orange skies, and I don't know if that was from the smoke. I don't know what's going on. There's some strange stuff going on up in the sky with these strange lights. I'm telling you, man.
Like here in Chicago, yesterday I was installing some cameras, and the lady came and told me, "Oh, sir, you may have to come back tomorrow. We leaving." Man, it was 11. It's like 11 o'clock. We leaving at 12. What? I was like, what's going on? The heat. We're leaving because of the heat. And don't get me wrong, she wasn't lying, because, man, I was sweating bullets. I was looking like patent leather, boy, just dropping down. You thought I was in a disco or something, man. And I'm like, So okay, I'm like, you ain't got to tell me twice. All right, no problem. Well, I packed up stuff. I left some stuff there. I'm like, all right, I'll be back the next day today. I'm going to short runs, but yeah, this heat, Chicago is not you. The last time we had some serious heat was back in the '90s, where a lot of people died. A lot of people died from heat related illnesses. And now, and Karis, I did not know that an EMP blast can start a fire.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just radiation. Well, not just, but it is radiation. And then what would end up happening is it'll short, and then it will short whatever circuitry is there in the area. And as that circuitry like just pops, it's gonna pop because of the short whatever wire that had been live. Oh yeah, if it hits some brush, if it hits something that is flammable, yeah, it can start a fire.
Man, I did not know that. I just learned that she was really mad about like today. I was like, no, that thing can't start no fire. They did that thing. I'm like, what? Mm.
Hey, Karis, how many people's left out of Florida so far?
In terms of what?
Like just like a exodus, like people just getting out.
I'm gonna tell you, the more people that are leaving, the more people that are coming in.
Oh, really?
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
don't don't be mistaken. Don't be mistaken. Now, I think a lot of the construction, they're laying low on the construction right now because of, what the governor had put in place with the illegals and transporting around illegals. Because, of course, when you're transporting around illegals, they're being transported really to the construction site and then to the um, and then back home to where they're on that, especially for agricultural workers. They literally have agricultural workers really in like plantation conditions, and I think there's actually different there's reasons for that, or like not reasons, but um man, what am I trying to say? There's conditions for that, like payroll, farm payroll, non-farm payroll. So it makes it easier um, for employers to kind of buck the system per se, because that was the same thing when you had back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We had a lot of the migrant workers, and a lot of those migrant workers were our people. My family were migrant workers. My family were orange pickers, especially here in Central Florida, all the way up into Georgia and South Carolina.
but I
So
th- oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, so that's what happens to be able to, have things and conditions be cheaper for for harvesting fruits and things of that nature, harvesting agricultural products. So with that, you know, it's on the books per se, but it in terms of being enforced, it ain't gonna be enforced. You know what I'm
No,
saying? It's just one of those things that I ain't gonna be enforced. Because why would you, as think about this, if you're in a some small, I'm gonna say just for example, just if you're in like Indian River County, in Indian River County, I'm just gonna say it's like, their industry is 90% agriculture. You really think they're gonna shut down your agriculture industry? No. What you're just gonna do is you're not gonna enforce those laws.
oh yeah, they're gonna let them do what they want to. Yeah.
Bingo. The laws will be on the books, hint, 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 right, to make it look good, but they're not going to force it. Because why? Why are you going to shut down your county? Because you're not bringing in any type of taxes from there. That's just how that goes. So, you know, that's to me, that's how I look at things. It may be different, it may not, but I don't see it. I don't see them slowing down in terms of folks coming in. But what I do see a lot of the Indian folks here. They're leaving. They're getting. It looks like they're packing up, and that's just on my perspective.
They
So,
packing up like crazy. They seeing something. Man, pay attention. There's not a lot of stores out here open. All you gotta do is pick up your local neighborhoods. Now, if you in a pretty decent neighborhood, yeah, but roll through a seemingly hooded area. Not too good, not too bad. Those stores are shut down.
hmm
Banks boarded up. It's there. There's something on the horizon that they're not telling the masses of people.
Well,
hmm
Mike, where you're at in Pompano Beach or close to there, Pompano Beach is done.
I mean, what is that at?
that's Florida. That's Fort Lauderdale. That's not Mike's in Chicago.
Oh, that's you, Carrots. I'm sorry. That's. I'm sorry. That's you. I'm
Like
sorry. I mean,
Pompano Beach.
yeah, that's
That's
you, Carrots.
yeah. I'm like that's near my dad's neck of the woods. It's like that's not where Mike's at.
What? Now that's by you. That's like what? Like southeast of you, right?
I'm in Tampa. I'm the other side of the state.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's not affecting you. Okay, sorry about that, Mike. But yeah, Pompano Beach. Yeah. That police department is dwindling. Thankfully, I hate that place. No offense, Karis. Actually, I hate a lot of Florida, except for where you're at, of course, because some of y'all are there. But yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Brother Faz Nickel, shalom.
Shalom, brothers.
Hey, what's up, brother Nickel?
Not much. I figured.
Shalom, brother Fast Nickel.
Shalom. I figured I'm not gonna let Rojo get on have all the fun. I'll just come on and say hello. I'm excited about the store. I'm excited
Yes.
about the new ways that the Most High is gonna allow for the name to get out there, and at the same time to do what it do what's needed for the continent. You know, listening to what Brother Rojo was saying, I listen to a lot of underground YouTube, and everybody's talking about how there's going to be that shutdown in coming towards October, late September, October, and the craziness that's going on in the world that's being told on the news. Once the craziness becomes a reality, you know, I don't know if most people are not going to know how to handle it.
But to me, I kind of look at it like this: if you're telling me that there's going to be a shutdown coming in October, right, or late October, to me that this is just me saying this. It feels like to me there's probably not going to be a shutdown. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be a shutdown. Now, when we saw COVID, excuse me, the cookie last time, and they were shutting things down intentionally, you could tell, oh, there was going to be a shutdown because they were trying to do that intentionally. For me, I don't know because here's the thing: it's just too much that they're losing. Now, if they have to shut down because they have to shut down, I think probably they have to shut down because they may not be making the money that they are making because of what China is doing, especially alongside of what BRICS is doing. And that to me is that's the only thing I can think of. They have to shut this thing down so they can see what impacts are going to occur with other economic forces at play. You
Well,
know,
Well, from what I've heard, the true, or the I don't want to say the true, but part of the reason behind any shutdown is all related to the banks.
yes, and I can, and honestly, I can believe that. I can say I can get behind that because here's actually what's also happening, family. So you understand how banks works. The way that the banks works is that there's banking operations, right? So you are taking out $5, okay, from the bank. There's operations from the bank that say, all right, you want to take out the $5, but we need to ensure that this $5. This is kind of what FedNow's doing. This is kind of how FedNow's operating. But then they say, all right, with that $5, you know, now it needs to go here because this transaction is now being monitored by the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve sees the transaction because why? Because the money comes is being used by the Federal Reserve. However, that Federal Reserve is also a collection point for, with Swift and other, uh, oversight that then is that then's housed under the Treasury, right? So the Treasury, technically speaking, that's a government function. The Federal Reserve is the military function, or excuse me, the monetary function of the banking systems, the worldwide banking systems. Now, folks don't want to go into the monetary function of the worldwide banking system, and they're trying to get out of SWIFT and they're trying to get out of the Federal Reserve. So, therefore, if you are the Federal Reserve and nobody wants to use your money anymore, especially from other nations, you have to pause and then you have to reassess, okay, how bad is this going to be? And then when the Federal Reserve pauses and the Treasury pauses and the bank pauses, and honestly, to me, that is literally that is the worst case scenario. My thing is what will cause that pause. They're not just going to pause it out the blue and say, "Oh, we paused it and yada yada." No, they're going to pause that in conjunction with a some sort of false flag event.
Well, I mean,
Like the Wagner group supposedly get assassinated.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, but something, but it'll be something more on U.S. soil because then well, we have to shut things down because we need to assess the situation on the ground. We need to make sure that everything is safe, right? It's a safety thing. Well, while they're being safe, okay, now we need to go here and we need to figure out how we need to do these bank operations. What are we taking away? What companies will be wiped out? They're doing feasibility studies. All right, if we take away this company, or we really wipe out this industry, how will this affect this other industry? They're trying to do feasibility studies.
I mean, they already done that though. I mean, I'm looking at it. They attacked the tech world, and they came in like a vulture.
Mm-hmm.
They came in like a vulture. I mean,
Yeah.
I was doing is just deinstalling stores, sending
Mm-hmm.
switches back out, mailing them back out, shipping them back out. But to see, I don't put nothing past the Wii U. I don't. I don't put nothing past the Wii U. They have always plotted that stuff that happened in Rwanda. That's them. They have their hand in that. Every time that there's a situation that they need, because they can't get their way, let's start a coup. Let's start a coup. But now that stuff is played out. Now the last ditch effort is here. We need to save this dollar. This is what we do. All right, now, like what you said, Karis, they playing this role. What
Mm-hmm.
if the dollar do dies? What can we do to strengthen our position on the dollar? They playing this stuff.
Well, remember, what does the dollar do? The dollar's backed up by military force. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Backed up by military force.
Oh shoot, that's weak.
And guess what? If you don't have the same amount of military force that you once had, because you had a conflict that you were being a proxy to, in that conflict, you may have armaments per se, but you may not have all the armaments that you really, need, especially for forces deployed worldwide. There would have to be a literal worldwide deployment to try to subdue anything and everybody. and that's just not going to happen because your lines of communication will be severed at different points, and then you'll have choke points. This is exactly what happened to the Greek Empire. And then when you see in different pockets of the world, you'll see some things in China, you'll see some things in India, you'll see some things in, other parts of South Asia. You'll see some things in, parts of, of remote um, Russia. Yeah, we had some Greeks here. Well, then what happened with the Greeks? Oh, well, they collapsed. And then what happens? They even had in remotest parts of Afghanistan.
Oh, Karis, hold on, Karis. I'm sorry. I got to tell you this. I got another update. The ish people, the you know who, the them,
You
they're
remember
calling.
this is Question Not Africa Discussions. So please do not put.
Yeah. Oh, I will. They're calling us Esau and Amalek.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll have that. We'll have that discussion another day. That's just clearly the that Dante really did get to some folks.
This is what I'm saying. This is what happens when Yah wakes his people up. They don't think about this educated black man who can read, decipher, and put things together.
Hmm.
That's a danger. That's the danger because now when Dante went in on them, on him or them,
Mike. Let's remember this is Question Not Africa Discussions.
oh, man, you about to,
Let's-
you trying to make me bite my tongue and blow bubbles again? All right.
Yeah, yeah. Look, we're talking about things on the continent. On the continent, we can carry that discussion come sometime next week.
Ain't
Okay.
Dante from the continent though? I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, but we're trying to get our 501c3. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So even though you're on Covenant Awakenings right now for the live stream, it's going to Quest 2 Night Africa. So
Well, but man, just going back though, it's this effort that has been that we're trying to do, and when I say we, it's a group,
mhm,
and this has never been done before, and it is a uphill battle. When I say this, it's an uphill battle. You're talking about bringing a nation of people together because we're the only nation that's not together.
mhm,
And the world did that. The world did that. And they know and knew we need to keep them separated. We all speak different languages. Matter of fact, we're the first international people. If truth be told, you have your Afro Spanish. You have your brothers over there speaking French. You have your brothers over here speaking English. We all over the world.
mhm,
We are an international group of people, and we don't even know it. And this is and to us to work in accordance to Yah's will. That is bringing this one particular group of people together onto one particular continent. It is a uphill battle, and there's a great deal of fear that comes from the world of this effort. This is the reason why we ask for donations because this is what we're trying to do. We go over there and we talk with the brothers and sisters and see how can we work together. What are some things that you need? How can we help help you? How can we help you? How can we help each other? Because when it's all over said and done, that's what it's going to be. Us helping each other.
mhm.
It's not that we going over there, oh, I'm a African American. You need to listen to me. Man, No, we're not trying to go over there with that dumb stuff. We are trying to go over there and find our brothers and sisters and work with them and work with them and doing what we need to do in order for us to come together. It's a beautiful thing to see those brothers in the continents and no, we're going to govern our own lives. We're going to govern our own countries. You're not going to just keep coming here and taking and taking and taking. They're letting them know those days are done with.
And Mike, real quick. So you see this, Sister Echo Bella said, look, they shut down businesses during the winter in the U.S. and send the extra oil and gas to Europe to keep them from freezing. To be honest, that's the most plausible scenario that I can think of. Honestly, I think that's the most plausible scenario, right? Hey, we have a quote unquote, pandemic emergence, get people off the road. Why? So we can start shipping out, resources on over to Europe. My question is how long will that, go on? And, it's
Well,
would it go on for the rest of the winter? Will it go on for, a month's worth, 2 weeks worth, 3 days worth of our shutdown? What powers Europe? You know what I'm saying? These these are one of the things that you have to really look at. You have to strongly consider. And if that's the case, what that means is that, things are hemorrhaging, right? And when you hemorrhage too much blood from your body, what happens to that body? It starts to get
That part
cold.
dies.
Exactly. It starts to get cold.
but now this my question on that comment is this: how many black people they think they're going to kill just to get this done? I know you know for a fact who is it going to affect if they shut down the businesses during the wintertime in the U.S. and send extra oil and gas to Europe. You know what neighborhoods are going to get affected?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be us.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be us. So there's a power outage. If there's going to be a planet, it's going to be us.
Well, remember that happened in Texas a
Oh yeah,
couple years ago, right?
Bingo. That's
There's
yep.
ice storms.
springtime.
And what ended up happening, it was actually the white neighborhoods. This is proven. This was proven. This was over near the Dallas area. It was the white neighborhoods that had the power while the black neighborhoods did not. And
Yep.
remember they apologized. They said, "Oh, they didn't mean it." And yeah, no, they certainly meant it. They were just mad. They were just, they were mad that they got found out. They were mad that it was documented. They were mad because they could see the power usage, and the folks there in in Texas were literally leaking out that information. And remember, I think a couple of people got fired over it too, but they don't care. They will sacrifice their own. This is the system. This is just like what you heard from Brother Solo Soul with Mr. Ken. They don't care. It's the system that they have to keep intact. And now their system, now it's being threatened. It's not being threatened by us. We can talk about stuff all day long. It doesn't matter. We're not the ones threatening it. We have literally no power to do anything. All we're doing is saying we need to get ready for when the Most High does what he says he's going to do, and
Yeah,
it's there on their heads that they can't come back to us and say, you never warned us. No, we warned you all the time. We warned you. We prayed over you. We asked you, look, help us so we can help you.
on the top.
We
You
would
know,
have healed Babylon, but she refused to be healed. This is part of the healing process. And now,
and
guess what? The nations are have risen up against her. Go ahead, brother Fast Nickel.
the people in this country, I know that some people are waking up, but people have, at some point people have to say enough is enough. And when you look at what happened in Hawaii, and we know what really happened, but just look at what's going on in terms of the money. They are giving scraps to the people in Hawaii and
$700.
$700, and then sending billions to Ukraine.
Fast nickel.
Like,
You not seeing that scam, brother? With that, that is
I already knew the scam, but the people who are asleep need to wake up and realize that it's all Ukraine is a money laundering center.
Mm-hmm.
hey, fast nickel. I just want to say, I just want to say this, and I mean, and it's not cap. It's not directed at anybody, but I just want to say this right now. As far as that FEMA director, I mean, we all know his phenotype. Same with the Memphis Five. We all know the phenotype. They can celebrate or act like they want to be fake outraged when it comes to the FEMA person versus the Marines with all this stuff going on. But you have the other persuasion doing a lot more, and they're not even hiding it anymore. They're being very blatant with it. And yet there has to be an investigation, no action taken, inquests, talks, have experts, whatever that means, to convene on stuff. But yet, whenever it comes to someone with our phenotype, it's always something, a coup or a military act or, swift action from law enforcement and the media. Whenever it comes to us, I'll just, I'm just saying, just kind of peep that game.
Mm. It is what it is, bro. I mean, the world is showing themselves. And they're desperate.
No, Michael, look, I'm worried about the FEMA thing because do you know how that's making us look as a collective? I mean, like really, like he's the face of that. Do you know what kind of pictures being painted about us right now?
Oh
So who
yeah,
are they really getting Maui mad at?
they're gonna always paint pictures of us, brother. I mean, shoot. I mean, well, look at brother Ken. They want to show him swinging back on a man who hit him first. So they don't want to show that. So they go and especially he black. Let's just say he used some choice words, and he was caught swinging on a Gentile. Oh, what? That's all they need to see. Their judgment is right there. Boom. Oh, let's do away with him. Oh yeah, he should have got slain, although being 70 years old. That's uh their take on it. Like Kara said a few minutes ago, the day is coming, and it's right up on us. It's right up on us. We seeing all this stuff. We hearing this little shutdown thing or whatever. But Yah said the world will have to know how much love I have for you. There's going to be a time when Yah is going to stand and the world will like, the world will recognize him. And they will recognize us at the same time. So why do you think they fighting? I mean, talking about, oh, y'all, you're not this here, you're not there. I view that as a waste of time going back and trying to figure out who we are. That's a waste of time. We already know that. It's in the scriptures. We move on. We dealing with this. We dealing with building up a country where we're from, because it has been manipulated, torn apart, divided. That's what the you have done. They've done this hundreds of years, over hundreds of years, and now Obadiah is out there in front screaming, you will be, and you are right now, an object of intense hatred, and the nations are saying it to their faces. You don't, and now it will literally appear now. It appears to me that the Wii U is standing back, kind of feeling kind of vulnerable now. But then at the same
And,
time, they
and,
got, uh huh.
and Michael, let me give a shout out real quick. And this is to all the Gentiles that are legit behind us. I know who you are, and I'm pretty sure a few other brothers and sisters in here know who you are. We like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you're coming in and being a sounding board for us and only us. We appreciate that. I've corresponded with a few of you guys. So I just like to go ahead and tip my hat to you Gentiles that are coming in, being true to the game and being honest. You don't have to identify yourself. I won't say who you are. Like I said, you know who you are. Much love. Be one, fist up. Thank you.
You know what?
And,
Let me
and
say.
that's a big deal, especially you talk to Rojo.
I'm just- hey, I'm being fair. At least I'm trying to.
Man, go ahead, brother Mike.
You know, excuse me. That as I seen one brother. He made a comment. He said, this is all a game. It's way more than a game. Because when reality truly, I mean, when I say reality truly hits in, kick in, that game is going to be a joke. That game is going to be a joke, and it's becoming a joke already. Truthfully, it's fastly becoming a joke. Now, I can see this little, I can see this little, whatever you want to call it, stay in or shut down or whatever. I can see that, you know. Um, but at the same time, there's an exit plan in my head that I would really, truly like to really see come, you know, come about, come to pass. Because truthfully, bro, I don't want to be here when all this nonsense go down. I don't. I really don't.
I think a lot of us don't want to be here when it goes down, but to be honest, I think we're going to be required to be here so we can see the Most High in His full glory. Because why? Because we are going to be a witness for those generations that come after us, and we're gonna, you know, what we're doing is we're preparing. It's the door, right? But however, it's the Most High that has us leave. You get what I'm telling you? As the Most High has us leave, look, not everybody was over in Jerusalem when Nehemiah was getting the wall built, when Nehemiah was building up the temple. It was actually afterwards when the people heard of what Nehemiah had done, then they were coming back in droves. So the thing is that then what makes this any different? What we're doing, we know what the Most High is allowing for us to do, but we know also that when the people see what has been accomplished, then they'll be coming in droves. We understand that. That's scripture. Do you think that we're not a reflection of our forefathers? We absolutely are. But we also know how these ancient paths roll. It's a hard endeavor trying to do something on the continent. And we're doing something on the continent outside of the Babylonian construct. If I were to say, look, we're doing feed the children to do what? So it can benefit America. It could benefit the West. It could benefit, if it could benefit everyone except for us, Do you not know how many donations we would have? I wouldn't even have to be on here on a weekly basis asking for support.
Brother Karras, did you mention that the cookie dough link is on the website?
Oh, awesome. The cookie dough link is on the website, and that starts on Monday. Please show your support. Please show your support, family.
You
That
know,
you order that cookie dough link, the cookie dough goes straight to you. Just like with the popcorn fundraiser was backed by popular demand. You know, we just ask that when you reorder your popcorn and you order your cookie dough, that you just wipe off your fingers before you start typing in your credit card information on the keyboard. That's that's what we ask. All right. Don't be looking at us when your keyboard's all nice and dirty because you've been having the popcorn residue as you're getting the cookie dough and popcorn order.
Hey, can we send that? Can we send that as a gift to somebody? Like, I
uh,
want to keep. I want to keep that in the Israelite family. I don't know if I want to just send that to random people. So if y'all got PO boxes up, I mean, I could order some of
You
that.
just send it. You just don't have the same billing and shipping address. You have the shipping address whoever you want to send it to.
yeah, as long as yeah. This makes perfect gifts. You know, give it to your sons, daughters, husbands, wives. Parents, things of that nature. Show a little bit of love, right? Show a little bit of support. Make
Now,
sure
see,
that
I'm
they
talking.
got their cookies ready before all this stuff goes down in 1 October. Look, make sure that they have some popcorn in their bug out bag. You know how you know what I'm saying? Popcorn stays good for a while in that bug out bag.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to order some of that popcorn for myself because we're gonna need it if not for a bug out bag to just sit in our little white chair and just watch the show, and have another white chair folded up leaning against us, just in case somebody needs, wants to join us as a companion.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah. The no surrender. Never say die. Yo, they're about to bring back out Iron Eagle, and they're gonna reimpose Trump's face as Chappie. It's like this dude has black hands.
Hey, look, Carrie, they're gonna be in their little squatter trucks riding up and down the street playing try that in a small town, with some bass with it, and probably have it chopped and screwed, try that in a small town.
Oh my goodness! Now these folks are trying to really do that forever purge. Like for real. They see things. You understand, we're not the only ones talking about this. They understand what's happening to them. They understand the dominance factor. Now they're about to get dominated. If you've been dominating, you don't want to get dominated. The ego, that hurts them. And this is why we're saying, look, they're enjoying money that's going to quickly be devalued. And they're going to devalue it. The only value that your money will have will be here, but it's not going to hold the same value for the products that come from elsewhere. It's going to start looking really bad.
you talk about it's going to. It's starting to look bad now.
I
No,
mean,
no,
you
no.
get what?
That the hyperinflation is going to be real.
Hmm. Anything that it'll be, hey, it'll be made in America, right? And then it'll be all the other stuff from China or from other places that's bricks. And what they'll have no more orders. You'll have no more orders.
Hey,
Whatever you
Chris
have,
Walker said.
you get. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, Chris Walker said, "Get ready for the Purge 6." I'm thinking more, they're going to try to purge 666. They're going to try to take us on out. I'm just saying.
No, well, honestly, I look at it like this. I don't think that we're really for them. We're not their main focus. But honestly, I believe their main target is themselves. They're
Scripturally
about to
speaking, if
their main
Ooh.
target is themselves, because you got to
yeah,
remember there are those that are, hey, look, we're not that bad, and then there's going to be those that say, hey, we're going to be the vain, right? How the I'm not vain to, but I am to I'm all the way vain. You get what I'm telling you? Those are, those dynamics. The
but,
pendulum swings.
let me ask you something. What is the population of Gentiles here in the United States? What did they say the population is?
I don't know. And honestly, do you really believe what they say about their population?
Because I'm looking at if you go. Because I believe they were saying that Spanish was like coming up as the largest.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
honestly, I believe that's correct. I believe that the Hispanic population is probably, over the Caucasian population. I believe that that's correct. But I don't believe the population numbers, at all. I just don't.
hmm,
Call me a skeptic, conspiracy nut. I don't care what you call me. I don't believe those population numbers. Because remember, for those population numbers, we've only been 13% of the population for 160 years. So no, I don't believe it.
hmm.
And not only
Sorry, I
that,
don't.
Karis, and not only that, but just to stray off the subject for a little bit, get ready for a lot of this because this is going really, really bad. A lot of them folks are falling from the F word, you know. Um, in and all, I'll just say it like that. Put the F with it, and you could get the correct pronunciation. Anyway, they're what they're trying to do there is try to call them self medicators. So they're not
Yeah.
even. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. So you know about that, okay?
Well, yeah, because now they now have an opioid crisis that's out the world. They now have a suicide crisis that they can't shake, and now you have now mysterious sudden deaths are popping up all over the place. Surprise, surprise,
Ooh, where did you get that from? Because I was just about to say
surprise,
that.
surprise. Oh,
Woo!
this happening all the time. Look, I see this all in the news feeds. I'm seeing this all in these old news channels. It's like, oh, somebody died from something dead, rare death, or unexplained death. Now heart failures are coming up all over the place. They're even saying this is in the news. They're even saying that heart failures are now being seen in young people. Why?
Hmm.
Well, look
Come
at
on
Top Gun's
now.
director. He jumped off a boat and died intentionally.
You,
I'm
you
just saying.
I mean, it's these deaths of despair. It's, all of these things is now taking place. Yeah, famous wrestler just died. Thank you, Garth. Yeah, at 36 years old. At 36, you're having what, a heart attack? You're dying? 36, you're prime.
And then the young brother, 30, no, 20, 23, college basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he died. And
and and, and, and it's still the question about Damar Hamlin because you haven't heard about him. So I think I hope he's not. I don't want to bear false witness on another Israelite, but
hey, it's a lot. You was saying earlier, Karis. Like I said, I don't want to be here because I look at what um when Yah spoke to Moses, where he spoke to Israel, all of them got scared when they heard his voice. All of them got scared, and they said, "No, no, 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 Moses, nah, you speak to us." They just to hear his voice
Hmm.
was a fearful thing. Man, can you imagine once these nations come up against his people and he stands up, speak, show his hand, pick one, or it may be both. Man, please, can you even amongst his people, we gonna be somewhat fearful. We gonna
Hmm.
see a power we never seen before. Only thing we have done is uh, read about it in the scriptures. This is what
Mm-hmm.
he did. This is what he. And we, yeah, to a degree, we can imagine it. We can see a little bit in our heads, but to witness, uh, I to witness it, to see it, that's a whole different world. A whole different world for Yah to stand up. You talking about the creator of all things.
Hold on, Michael. Can you or Karis get Mariah Morgan 11? She seems to be a scoffer, or maybe she's legit have questions. So can one of y'all, I, I guess, engage with her? I don't know. I mean,
But
she.
yeah, I saw that, and I would say this. I would say this. You know, biblically speaking, and I'll defer this over to to get more information. Please visit Teo Ministries. But I believe that the two witnesses are us, right? Is Judah and Israel. You have the diaspora, and then the folks on the continent. Because
Saying
what
the
have we?
same thing.
Because what are we doing? We've witnessed this system together. We've witnessed these judgments together. We've been oppressed together. We just been oppressed over here and throughout the world, and they've been oppressed on the continent. And if you don't think they've been oppressed on the continent, let Mike talk to you about his two villages.
Oh my goodness.
Let Chief Mike talk to you about his two villages.
Hey, yeah, Mike, I want to hear this. Please, sir, tell a little bit about it. Just a little bit, just a smidgen. Just give me a
Mike,
teaser.
Don't say it.
they carry Mike on their backs like the Tommy Davidson scene from Ace Ventura. He comes on out that little back like
Don't let him. Don't let him do that to you.
Mike's on that white chalk, that white powder.
Yeah, wrong man. Hey, but I tell you one thing. Hey, it's gonna be those villages we're gonna need.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. And
Hey,
that
hey, but Mike, hold on. I want to dispel the thing about those villages and those mud huts, since certain persuasions like to try to be pejorative about that.
what
Those are not year-round living places. They're just there guarding the crop during the growing season.
you talking about the like mud huts?
Yeah. That
See, but
yeah.
then that's what the TV will show you, that dumb stuff. I mean, I ain't gonna call it dumb, but that's all that's for. It's just when they're doing work and they'll build those huts out of mud, and then they do the work. They go there and they rest because they have the outhouse. You know, not close by, because trust and believe, you got to walk distance to get to that. You know, to the bathroom outside. So yeah, that's just a place where they go to work and to do their crops and stuff, and then they go back to their village. They village is built of concrete blocks.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna show you that.
Yeah.
They want to sit act like they just like so primitive. Don't get me wrong. Now there are some instances where you may have a single man and his wife, and it's just them. They may be living in, and that's all they do all day long is farm their land.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the norm there. That's not the norm. It is not the norm. But um, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
How they take some sticks, some mud, and
Let,
that's
let,
that's
let
what's
me
up.
let me equate it to like this. Let me equate it to like this. This is like the easiest thing to kind of equate this to. When you're seeing their mud huts and things of that nature. Okay. It's like going camping on your own land. It's going camping on your own. They kind of give that little, what did they have? They do it a lot in like the Scandinavian countries. It's not necessarily like a sauna or outhouse, but it's kind of their little shed. I mean, we had sheds growing up where I was
What
at
what
in South
what
Jersey.
Karis,
You had
I'm from Texas. It's kind of like going to a deer lease. You go up to your
Yeah,
little deer lease in a tree. You stay
that's
there for
correct.
2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. That's exactly that's not where you live at. That's just kind of where you hang on out at.
Yeah.
You hang on out. You just kind of because they hang out. That's what they do, man. They sit on the side of the roads. They just chill with each other, and that's what's going on.
And then what you may call a park, they'll build a little it's not a shed. It's just like well, it's just like a little. They throw the leaves on top and they have the sticks on the ground, but they sit up under it and they just talk. Especially the elders. They don't be in their place. They
Mhm.
come there and they walk and they all of them meet at one particular spot because I met them.
Well,
And
no, because Mike, because when I saw y'all doing that out there in Africa, out there in the land, I saw y'all filming cities like skyscrapers and hotels. So I know for a fact that it's not what the mainstream try to show. As
now
far as
on that,
yeah, I
now on
was seeing
there,
roads and traffic. Yeah.
now on that there, um, you drive like me and Karis. We went to Sister Judy's place. Now you just, I mean, I like to drive going out there. That's just me personally because you see all our brothers and sisters moving around
Mhm.
and handling business, selling whatever they can sell, and things of that nature. But then you, at the same time, you drive and you seeing the villages or where they live at, bruh. The city is not for our brothers. They don't live down there.
Mm-mm. They don't.
They do not live down there at all. I'm serious.
Mm-mm.
They do not live down there.
But think about it. It's like this. It's just like how you have gentrification of downtowns here in the United States. It's the same exact model. It's the same exact model. They go there, they work, and then they come back home, and they come
Exactly.
back home in their communities. They'll take the bus, they'll get on down there early, and then they leave late. That's just how that goes. They work. Here's the funny thing: their working model. They like to say 8 hours a day. It's really not.
Ooh, it's 12 or
It's
more.
12 hours a day. They work from sun up to sundown. They literally work from sun up to sundown. If
Mm-hmm.
the sun's up, they're working. When the sun's down, they're they're eating dinner and they're turning in. This is how it goes. Except for Friday night. Except for Friday night. Oh, they're out and about. They're doing their thing. But these folks, yeah, and it's sad because like when I said we've been oppressed together.
Yeah, all together.
Yeah. They
I mean,
it, they still get look, they still get beat.
now the only thing different about that here and there, now they were, you know, yeah, they would stand there and take a beating, like they're a child or something.
No, Michael, they're not doing that no more. You ain't seen where they beat those Chinese. Oh, dang it!
You
Sorry.
must, you probably ran up on those Chinese probably ran up on some Nigerians. That's a whole different breed
Yeah.
of people.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Let me tell you, you see the difference between our people and them. You really do see the difference. They're like literally a smaller petite size version of
yes,
us.
they are.
They don't get anything that's bigger than like 5'3", 5'4" is crazy. They don't get tall.
Mm-mm.
Now, where's
They're
this
not
at you talking about, Karis?
This is Tanzania.
Yeah,
They're about
Tanzania.
5'3", 5'4".
They're that small, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may find one or two that got a little height, but they ain't gonna, that's not the norm.
It's not the norm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Woo.
they're looking up at us, and I'm only like 5'11". They're looking up at us, and it's like, yeah,
I mean, but you look around, man. You go find your twin. You
Hey,
go.
hold on, Michael. Michael, you're in the matrix, or it might be me. It sounds like you're
no,
talking through a reverb.
I think that's you, Rojo. He's sounding good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you go find your brother, your sister, somebody go look like somebody there.
Hmm.
Just shorter.
Oh
Just
yeah. They listen, Sister Benetta. You're absolutely right. They do have beautiful homes. Don't get it twisted.
Woo!
They have beautiful
Please.
homes. Sister Judy is in the chat. We've been to her home. Her home looks right over the water. It's a beautiful home.
3 bedroom.
3 bedroom. It's about 2,400 square foot.
See, they I mean, I would tell all the brothers and sisters, you know, I'm gonna say it like this. When a lot of the brothers and sisters woke up to who they were, they start dismissing a lot of Christian understanding or thinking or teachings. And I would say the same thing, do the same thing when it comes to your brothers and sisters on the continent and their living conditions.
Hmm.
Do the same thing. The more you do it, the better off you're going to be. Now, if you want to continue to maintain, I'm taking the United States to Africa, you're in for a rude awakening.
Hmm.
You're in for a rude awakening. And if that is the point of the wilderness, you're not going to survive.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Over on the continent, guess what? They have the same exact homes that we have here,
Same, or even better.
or even better. They do.
They do.
Yeah, Mike and I got invited to some homes, and they're absolutely gorgeous.
Man.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And
Having
those,
the rain shower, the overhead rain showers, having, all the amenities, having the TVs hooked up, having the satellites on up there, the AC, the you know,
Hey,
they have
Karis, I'm
they have everything.
I'm sorry to trouble you with this question, but can you please describe evening sky to me out there? Like I've just been having these.
Oh,
Uh,
here's the thing. You see all the stars in the sky.
uh,
You see all of them. That moon
uh,
is it's so bright. It's like you can literally reach up and grab it. It's amazing, family. It is surely amazing.
you
it is
remember,
the is
you
the
remember,
twilight sky pretty?
Oh
man,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna
Oh
tell you
yeah,
something.
Sister Benetta, you'd be a tall one on out there. 5'9". Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you be a giant on out there because I'm telling you, the women are about like 5'1", 5'2", and then the men are about 5'3", 5'4". That's
But you remember when we was at the Hyatt,
mm-hmm.
man, and I said, man, I ain't never looked up at the moon.
Mm-hmm.
When I say look up, I'm not saying you looking to the east or you're looking to the west and looking at the moon. When I say you literally are standing on the ground and you looking straight up and you
Mm-hmm.
seeing the moon.
Mm-hmm. And it looks so close.
Oh,
That to me, it was almost like it was nice, but it was also like scary at the same time. It's like,
yeah.
wow, that thing is way too close. It's like I'm kind of fearful about you kind of I want to go inside. I'm not really used to all this. That's just
Man, I cannot wait till we get out there. Till we get out there, even if I, just put my coins together and book a flight out there, I would like to chop it up with you two, especially like with Mike. Like because I mean, Karis, you could be a bit reserved and like, I mean, I don't know if
well,
I could
it's
come
it's
on.
it's hard to chop it up with Mike because you just have to once you get past, seeing Mike sitting on
See, I knew
his
he was gonna go there.
villagers
I knew
with
he was
his
gonna
with
go there.
his throne that he carry around.
Hey, he'll be
Once
King Mike.
that
I knew he was gonna go there. I knew it.
what do
Uh,
they call it? Ngozi, Mike Ngozi,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
Mike Ngozi,
Mike
Mike,
Ngozi, Mike the leader, Mike Ngozi. They say
Mi-
Ngozi, Ngozi.
Mike Nagas Mike. Hey, Karis, I have to approach Mike like Idi Amin made the Gentiles approach him. I'd have to kneel.
I literally asked Mike. I asked him that. I said, Mike, you have your Idi Amin, uniform with the lump of skin draped across there on your shoulder. We're talking about
One thing,
what is going
one
on
thing,
in my village. What is going on in my village today? What is this? What is this? Come on now.
see you now. You done woke up. Now you done woke up guard. Now I mean, all these people.
You said Mike Ngozi, the leader. Ngozi. Oh man.
But man, let me tell you something though. I've been 3. When me and Karis went over this, we ate at one sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think y'all recognized it, but the sisters, they serve you.
Yep.
But when they serve you, they bow down to you.
Mm-hmm.
They do it in the villages.
Yeah.
It's just something that, even though I don't know if they know it, but that was something they did in biblical times.
Absolutely. That was, if you didn't understand, that's exactly that you had with Mary when she was serving Yahusha. So you understand, all of these are literally biblical customs. And you're seeing those biblical customs literally all right there. The washing of hands. Everything that you do, the washing of hands.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they even prepare their meats, everything is biblical customs, but they don't know that. They don't tell them that. You understand, they don't even want them to read the Bibles. We're still in the process of getting Bibles for folks in Kenya that actually want to read the word because they don't want to be in the deception of Roman Catholicism. This is what's going on.
Yeah. I tell you, they doing things, and I know for a fact they don't even. But one thing they do know, they Bantu.
Yes, they do.
Bantu. Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say. As long as they're into the Bantu and they know their old customs, because I would like for us as Judah as a collective to get together with Israel, Ephraim as a collective, and we all just sit there and chop it up and exchange customs and ideas and cultures. Oh, and by the way, I'm no longer Rojo. I am either Rono or Rogo. So, and I know if I get the name Rogo, somebody's about to boot me out the chat. So, I mean,
but no, it's going to be Yah who's going to take that mental chain off their minds, because I mean, a lot of them are diehard Christians there, and a lot of them, the vast majority of them are diehard.
Hold on, you say Christians?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They got Pentecostal. They got
on the continent, Karis?
Yeah. Oh, no, over there. Yeah, the one person we're working with, her husband was a Pentecostal pastor. He had passed away about 2 or 3 months ago, and so she was helping us on out with some stuff. But yes, they're on over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what ends up happening is they don't read the Bible. Like
they don't.
I know, and even in the church I was going to, it was always encouraged, read the word. But they wouldn't say, pray about what you're reading or pray and ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you what's going on. They would just tell you read the word, right? Here, they're not even reading the word. It was just be like, hey, here's some topical discussion, right? And then there you go. All right. This chat for Q2UA has definitely taken a turn for the worse because Brother Yakoba is in the house. There goes all of our 501c3. I'm just going to crumble up the paperwork and throw it away.
Hey, Karis, you remember that armor I was telling you about? I'm going to my closet so I can get that off the shelf. I'm putting that on right now because with Yakoba in the house, I'm going to need it. Welcome, brother.
What's up? Just don't look too close at my hands. Y'all might mistake it for Freemasonry stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, let me hey, like I said, you better not be deaf. You better not be deaf.
Hey,
Like,
hey,
You know,
Yakoba.
uh,
Sorry. Before you go, you remember what the book I kept on getting on you about that video you did? Now, aren't you seeing that? I'm seeing that everything you said in that book about the eagle is all coming to pass. I mean, you
oh,
called it.
second Ezra, I think is chapter 2 or 4 or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Talking
yes,
about the
sir.
eagle.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yeah.
yeah. You know, I was listening to y'all talk about the Israelite traditions on the continent. I was just looking into some of that,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just so much of it. I was watching. Really watching a video. They were calling it Sagomas, and I think it was it Kenya or South? I think it was South Africa for the Sagomas, and really when I was watching it, I could have sworn I'm watching John the Baptist baptizing. Right, they were in the water. It's part of their traditions, and they it's all part of the rites of purification, which we call baptism. And literally you think you're watching a biblical scene because they had the reeds around them and they're in the midst of the water, and
Mm-hmm.
what we call baptized is the rite of purification that they were doing. And let's not forget the video where I show Magafuli, at his funeral when they were throwing the stuff down on the ground, just like they did for Yeshua, for the
Mm-hmm.
king. And I mean, literally, there's just so much like the Igbo. I was watching the Igbo, one of the videos I have, and the Igbo had these old men. Now they had some like charms or whatever, but they were called uh, I forgot what the white guy called them, but they were speaking in tongues. Now, now the Sagomas, the white guy, or some of the depending on which definition you look at, they call them witch doctors. I'm like, where you get witch doctors from, right? And then you look
Well,
at
wouldn't they be called seers or prophets?
yeah,
Isn't that?
seers or prophets,
Yeah.
exactly. But because they black Africans, they witch doctors,
you
right?
just said it, Black African.
Yeah. So they call them witch doctors, the Sagomas, and I'm like, for what? You know why? Because they communicate with the spirits. Like, if you take away all of the Greekanization of the New Testament, what do we see? The spirits, right? An angel, they call them the Malachim, right? They're spirits, right? God is a spirit.
What
And
what 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 did they say with Saul? Saul speaks amongst. He's doing what? He's prophesying amongst the prophets, and he was carried and led by what? The Spirit.
yep.
Ooh.
So I'm
Well,
like seeing
Jacobus.
all these traditions, right, in the Bible, in the African tradition. They don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was saying, Jacob, was this. When I was there, I'm like, man, y'all know y'all doing a lot of this stuff. You know, that's in the Bible. That this is what we do. This is what we, and it was kind of difficult for me to try to explain. I said, you all are doing is you don't realize who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I say diehard Christians, no. I'm a diehard Christian. I'm a Catholic, so and so, and diehard for it,
Mm-hmm.
but still doing things that our forefathers practiced for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tell you, and it was mind-boggling.
Say, brother Mike, I want to ask you. You were saying you was having issues with like phlegm or whatever. Me too, man. I'm like, I don't know what's in this air. I be coughing and stuff, man. Be a dry cough.
Yes,
What did you do to get rid of it?
I took baking soda and water. I mean, when I just a few minutes ago, I did it. So I went in the bathroom and gargled some baking soda and water, and man, that stuff it helps me out throughout the whole day. And then,
Michael, put honey, man. Honey will clear that phlegm away too.
well, I mean, I don't swallow it; I just gargle it.
Oh no! You just want to breathe it in. You just want to breathe in the fumes from the honey. Put the honey against your face, but you want to breathe it a little bit, and it'll clear it up.
Okay.
Just get a
No,
big jar.
just with the water and baking soda, I gargle it. Boom. I'm good. And because it was affecting me at night because I just kept on clearing my throat at night. I'm like, man. But then I got up and I did some research. Boom, went in the bathroom, did it. Man, I went on to sleep, and it helped me out through it the whole day. When I get up in the morning, I just said, "Bump, let me just keep it as a regimen." My son was doing this. My son was going through the same thing.
Okay, Michael, tell me how you do it with the honey. I mean, not with the honey, with the water and the baking soda, because I might try that too.
I mean, just water and baking soda, not just stir it up, not gargle it.
Gargle it, okay, okay. Warm.
No, not warm. Well, no. When my throat was sore, when
Uh-huh.
it was sore, it was warm water.
Okay.
I did use warm water, but after the soreness gone, then I just do it just with regular you know
Room temperature. Okay. No, okay, that's cool because I'm gonna try that. Because honey is where I live at, it costs money. It's expensive. So that's why I was asking. I'll try I'm open for the cheaper options. And
because
especially
I'm seeing a lot of people saying they have the same issue. They say, you know what? Because I mean, when I was out and about, but everybody was like, "You always clearing your throat." And every time it was saying my husband do the same thing, and at nighttime he have a problem with that. And she said this just recently started.
Yeah, they're hitting us with something,
They
whether it's
hitting us with
chemtrails or
something, bro.
whatever.
There is
Yeah.
something, bro, and I just can't put my
hey,
finger on it.
I
But
had
hey
that
you,
last night. I'm not gonna lie. I had that last night, right
mm,
before I went to bed. I took my dog out, and I'm like, I can't even hardly breathe.
Yep.
I was breathing just fine. I said, I was like, thank you, Father, for that surgery. I can breathe and my sinuses. Last night, I was doing building bridges, and I was outside at my son's practice, and then I get back home. I get out that shower. I can't breathe. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, they're hitting us with something,
it's
and
something.
yeah.
you Cobra, you have boots on the ground out there along Texas and Louisiana. Are you seeing or hearing anything about fires out there? Because I'm hearing, that there are fires raging out there, like in the eastern parts of Texas and the western parts of Louisiana, as far as freaking DeQuincy. So, I mean,
I haven't heard anything, but I'm sort of to myself. I don't really care about half of what's going on in the world. I'm just looking forward to get back to the continent one day. That's all. That's the only
you
place my
know,
heart at.
Kobe, you've always been like in a cylinder, but like,
Oh yeah.
Let me. You know what? Somebody put in it. No, you don't want to. I'm gonna tell you something about whiskey now. Whiskey and honey. Whiskey builds phlegm. It builds mucus. A lot of people don't know that.
wait. I'm a drinker. Say
Yeah,
that
but
again.
it builds mucus.
What kind of liquor? Any kind?
Whiskey, hard liquor builds mucus.
Okay, all right.
You ever notice you talking? You talk with a bona fide alcoholic. He always got some type of phlegm in his chest, but he
Yeah,
really don't really get a cold. He'll cough it up because it's difficult for phlegm to hold to his chest because he's drinking that warm liquor. But he'll eventually cough it up. But they always have phlegm
Yep.
in their chest dealing with hard liquor. Yeah, it'll help you out if you got a like strep throat, gargling the liquor. Boom, yeah, because it's going to, well, that's that 151 that'll cleanse the back of your throat. But man, but yeah,
or a toothache. If you got a toothache, you put that liquor on that abscess. It'll knock it right on out. It'll even pull out the juices, the pus from it.
But I mean, but the whiskey. Once I did the research and everything, I kind of found out because I always said, because I was doing whiskey too, gargling it, boom, try to get it out of my chest. But I kind of found out, no, it builds mucus. It literally builds mucus in your lungs, and like we saying, it's something going on because don't too many people come about with clearing their throat all the time. I know
Yeah.
I know I got allergies. I mean, and things. But this is not something, especially with my son. No, something ain't right. Like, damn, my
Here's
throat.
the thing. Too many people have the same thing, right? My
Same thing.
mom dealing with it. My brother dealing with it. We're not I'm not living over there with them, but it comes and it goes, right?
Mhm.
And I notice like for me, something sits a lot of times in the back of my throat, in my
Yes.
nose,
Yes.
and sometimes I get this dry cough. I be taking everything. I got an air filter. I got a you know aromatherapy. I got
Hey,
everything and still deal with it.
hey, brother Yacoba, like I'm gonna tell you and Mike, it could be what y'all eating, and I know Yacoba, I know you're very careful about what you eat,
I eat
but there,
salads.
Bro,
there's a
What was Bill
uh,
Gates going to get ready to do to the salads? I'm just saying.
no,
I
bro,
know.
and that's a good point, Karis.
I
But look
fast
here,
every
I
day.
got a grain. I got a grain, and I took it and I put water, warm water, and I put salt in it. I threw that grain, and it was a rice grain in there, and that thing stretched out and started moving, started swimming. So I don't know what the heck. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Karis. What the heck they're putting in this stuff? But whatever they're putting in there is alive. So we're eating something that's living.
Well,
Yeah, I'm scared to eat meat because
oh yeah.
they were talking about vax. Well, let me stop that. Putting stuff in the animals.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Just messing up
Be real.
messing up Q2A's 501c3's chances. All I see is this is just the smoke, and it's just getting
I
burned.
caught myself though, Karis. I caught myself.
But my mother lives 700 and some miles away from me, and she got the same issue. Now, think about that, bro. It ain't like, I haven't seen my mother since I got back.
But
Now,
see,
It's the acid. It's the acid rain, Mike. That's what it is. Because it
but
happens to
see,
me.
this is one of the reasons, I kept saying we got to get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're not gonna make it. People don't see all of this
that's
stuff.
what I'm talking about. You know. Now, when I kid you not, but when I was in Darsalam, no, I did not have this issue.
No,
As
no,
soon as I
I didn't hear
got,
anything from Mike. I didn't hear anything from Mike. And let me tell you this, even me, I had just came there. I had a gauze on my nose.
yeah, yeah,
Ask
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I had a gauze on my nose in May.
Mm-hmm.
I had no issues.
We
You,
got to
you
cry out to the Most High. We got to get out.
Got to. And I'm saying to myself, man, I'm like, I did not have this problem in Tulsa, but once I got back to the United States, kicked in full blown. And then my son, you know, he got a hold to the sea. And I test him, I'm like, dang nabbit, man, you for real? So he said, Dad, he said, I'm feeling kind of dizzy. So I checked his blood pressure. Blood pressure was cool. And I knew what it was. He had pressure, on mucus in his head. I was like, okay, man. So I went and got him some stuff, and man, he started coughing that stuff up. And then here I go. I got the same thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
Echo Bella correct because I use mullein tea as well. It does help.
yeah. And then, but it was like, and people say, yeah, that's like fogginess. I ain't had no fogginess. I know I had mucus up in my nasal, your ears, nose, and throat all connected together. It's all connected together. And soon as I started gargling, what boom, stuff started coming down. Boom, 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 boom. And then I started coughing up mucus and stuff. Man, for a good 2 weeks I was coughing the mucus up.
So think about this. We got fires, we got earthquakes, we got pestilence, we got all of this stuff. I mean, you think about it. We got Satanism in schools. We got other stuff in schools. We got all of these things happening now. We have all of these like little minor and major issues. I'm just asking, how can we continue if this continues like this? That's all I'm asking. I'm like,
Bruh, that's why I just told Karis, I don't want to be here.
yeah.
That's just me. I do not want to be here, and I'm looking at a lot. I'm looking at a lot of different things. A lot of different things. People just don't get sick, and they have the same symptoms. This
Exactly.
sounds like it's been orchestrated.
Yep. And let's not forget all the people just dropping, right? Because I'm like, I'm just saying it's bad. You know, now some people gonna say, "Well, you cool, you ain't got faith." I say, "I got faith. I just know what I'm dealing with."
Mm-hmm. And I mean, bruh, I mean, these are the things I be looking at, man. I like, you know what? I gotta start making some moves because this, and I don't want nobody around here talking about uh Mike and Yakoba. They just trying to instill fear. Well, truthfully, take it the way you want to run with it. I said, me personally, I'm a firm believer what the scriptures say. He said, get out of her. And you can take that in a literal way or you can take it in a spiritual way. However you take
Mike,
it,
Mike, you speaking facts, Mike. You speaking truth, brother.
however you want to take it, you know for a fact you got to get up and do something. There's an action that is required for you to do. And I'm like, all right, boom. And this is how I see it. This is how I see it. I mean, the disrespect is going to continue as long as we're here. And it's going to get worse.
Hey, Mike, I say this. I say Yakoba or Karis are to hold a fasting day and a day of repentance on our day of atonement in September. They
And
are like,
what day does that fall on?
oh, don't hold me to this. Don't shoot me down if I'm wrong. But I think it's September 20th.
I'm up for anything because we need deliverance. Because remember, Karis, back in the day, we were talking about all of this stuff, and we were like, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. Has it
Hmm.
not gotten worse?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see see something happen in the next county over from me, and all that stuff that just leaks on over to Orlando. It leaks on over to Tampa. It leaks on over to all the throughout the rest of the state. So it's disheartening to hear it of what's happening to our people, even in Georgia, even with our and this is folks that we know. These are coming from the folks subscribed, that's viewing, that's listening on these channels right now, and they're seeing the effect personally. Don't think it's going to get better. It was always going to get worse. They were just trying to really keep their stuff together and avoid the panic, because now the panic's coming. The panic room is here.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are not gonna realize it till there's no food on the tables and water coming through the pipes.
Yakoba, we already at that point. My mother
I
just
believe it.
told me. She just told me, Yakoba. Let me put it this way. My mother is concerned right now. She's very, and I know what she's saying. She really want me to get my stuff and come on back down there. And I know I need to do that. And I got to start putting things in motion. But it's already started, bruh. I remember you all did a prayer. Was it? And that was in December of last year.
Oh
Global Day of
yeah.
Repentance, January 1st. Well, December 31st, but
December
uh,
31st. Yep.
yeah.
You know what? We probably need to do this every 3 months.
I'm believing it.
I'm serious. And
Yep.
then my thing is this: we need to start reaching out to the brothers on the continent. Hey, let's do this together.
Hmm.
Come on, hey, let's use these platforms as long as we have them to be
Yeah.
used.
Well, no, I'm down with like every 3 days or something like that. We just
He said
That's
every
too
three
much,
days.
Rojo.
He said every 3 days.
no.
Rojo,
I mean,
Rojo, like I want to get out of here.
yeah, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man. You know what? That's why I quit smoking. I need to get my cardio's on so I can get like that brother in Alabama, because I'm ready to just swim across the Atlantic. I'm just ready to swim up out of here, this mug.
I see it.
Rojo gonna be in a canoe trying to get to Africa.
Mhm.
Hey,
Hey,
I'll be like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I'll jerry rig something.
Mm.
hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead,
S-
brother. Fast nickel.
Something just came to me, that I felt that I should bring it out to attention, is that I've noticed lately that there's now, I'm not saying it's a lot, but there's now the seeping in of disarray between, it sounds like, between some issues with Pastor Kelly, with Yakova, Shonda, and it's like, it's almost like this demonic spirit is trying to seep in to try to pull us apart. Because we are the, not we, but those channels are the foundation of what brought us all together, and it's almost like there's a spirit trying to separate us now. And so I'm just saying that, what even though there may not be an issue, but underlying it, there is some kind of an issue, and I think that everybody needs to just kind of come together and let it go. So, because right now I feel like there's some kind of a spirit trying to come upon you guys.
Well, I agree with you, because even with the whole thing with the hand signs, I think that is ridiculous. And I don't even believe it's TCA personally till I see his face and him talking. I'm not convinced it's him. And so, even like with the whole thing with, certain individuals, I'm like I said, it's sort of like what Dante say, if you keep my name out your mouth, we ain't got a problem. People always want to pick a fight, but then when sort of like what happened with the 70-year-old guy in Florida, they catch him after he throw him the punch, not when the guy messed with him, right? And that's how it is. People are quick to accuse me because I'm throwing the punch after you then threw rocks at me and hit your hands. And so then other people want to be like, well, we need to get together. Come on, Yakoba, you starting everything in so many words, right? And I'm like, no, I didn't start it, but I always finish it, right?
No, Yakoba, I'm going to defend you. And I'm gonna put a trigger alert out there right now. I might even get kicked off the panel, but I gotta say this because you mentioned.
I'm ready to kick you off. Go ahead, Rojo. What you gonna say? And you're just gonna be going this sentence. You're gonna be going mid phrase. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, speaking of TCA, he's been kind of talking kind of funny, and then Pastor Kelly.
Well, hold on, Rojo, before you go that way. Hold on.
Okay.
Go that way. Now, these brothers, African Israelite, they did some research. They just posted it. They said they come to find out that brother didn't do that. He didn't do it. TCA, he didn't do it.
That's what I say. I never believed it was him.
Yeah, they said he did not do it. It came
drop that in the link, or if you find that, drop that in the link.
It's what's that brother name? He got a channel, Benya
Israel.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was literally,
he just posted it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
Someone put that in the chat, please.
He just posted it. And so that's the reason why I stopped you, because I don't want you to throw shade on this brother. Because
okay, thank you. Because now, Karis, you can pull your Thanos finger from over my name.
Oh, it was ready. I was hovering over that thing. It's like, all right, Bam from studio.
Me and Yakoba kept saying, no, this don't sound like this brother. And I'm saying the same thing, like, no, something ain't right with this stuff. And now there's another one. And I hope that Sister Shonda sees this, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, she didn't speak ill about the brother, but she just gave out what ifs. She gave out what if this brother, he may be feeling a certain way, or he got into a slump, reach out and everything. That's how she approached it.
See, this is the issue when you don't get both sides, right? You don't investigate.
It blows out of proportion.
It blows out of proportion, and you think you're taking a righteous stance, and you're going against the one who's really being attacked.
That's it. And I tell you, and it did disrupt the community.
And in a bad way.
Now we have to have questions about this. Now the question is, where's TCA?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But you can't leave no comments. Big Red figure, he the one who busted it out. He said they got the comments disabled
Yeah.
because if you give a comment, he gets the message.
What happened to TCA? Now we need to put on a bolo. Now we need a
Yeah,
missing persons alert.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Did they do the Tyrone thing to TCA?
I mean,
This
no,
is what we're
I
trying to
mean,
figure on out. Now
we
that
need
look, these are
like
legitimate
this
questions.
brother needs to be
You
found.
think I'm concerned now too?
Yeah.
Listen, what happens with Brother Karras? If Brother Karras comes
Hey,
still talking about Israelites and Gentiles. Now get somebody to question United Africa because that's your land.
hey,
Um,
hey, Karis, if I get to going off and talking crazy, and you ride with me, co-signing me, I'm gonna know right then. I'm gonna jump off your channel by myself. I'm gonna kick myself because I'm gonna know that's not you.
it'll be like it'll be like this. It'll be like this. It'll be like what Rojo said. What Rojo said.
A
Does
BB.
anyone know TCA who can reach out to him and try to
Yeah,
get
that's what
in
I was saying.
contact personally? Because I never believed it was him. I mean, the personality behind this whole thing doesn't seem like him.
Well, you cope. I'm a Patreon of him. I can see if I can reach him through the Patreon channel.
Yeah,
Some
because I mean, you notice he don't show his faces on these attack videos, and he don't speak. I'm not convinced it's him.
And then
Somebody needs
another,
to put in a digital poster. Some our people need to put in a digital poster right now
Yep.
so we can put that on Facebook. Have you seen our brother TCA? Please call 833-400 Q2UA.
you know what?
because because
Going back to
hey
what brother Nichols was saying, and I would say this to anybody.
hey Mike, give me a cash app. I'm gonna send you some cash because you just saved me from being banned. So
Um,
give me your cash.
Look,
Because I was
for real though, we need to pray for TCA because he could be in dire straits. Because
Absolutely.
MI6 or somebody might have him. We don't know, right? I'm not convinced it's him.
yeah, because I mean, you're just looking at all of this stuff that is popping out and things, and now, who is that? Who is that? Sister Shar that told us that Black Hebrew lights are labeled as a gang.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Atlanta,
You know,
Georgia prison, or in
yeah.
the Georgia prison system,
So,
Hebrew Israelites
and then as
are
to
gang
this,
members.
and as to what brother Fast Nickel was saying, not one person is going to, not one person will have all of the truth of the Bible. All your teaching is not going to be correct. If a brother says this and it seems plausible from a spiritual standpoint, if you got a disagreement with the brother, don't post something and put it out there before the world so you can get an emotional reaction from other viewers. You go to that brother, message that brother, email him, and y'all talk about it. See what, all right, this is what, and if you don't have, I mean, if you can't come to a conclusion, leave it alone and move on. You got
wait,
your,
wait, wait. You know what? Do I need to unsubscribe from Pastor Kelly? If I mean, because I listen to him about every other day. Is he doing some stupid stuff too?
no, I can't say that he's doing stupid stuff now. I can't say that. I'm not going to say that about that brother. I mean, that's some things that he,
Yeah, and on
yeah,
this platform, look, I'm not gonna give credence or credence to that, because honestly, to me, that's a concern that we need to be out of.
yes, very
That's
much.
not us,
Okay, I understand. Okay,
and that's not going to be here on this channel.
okay, understood and respected, Karis.
So, because I respect all of our Hebrew leaders, I do respect that. Now, in the background, I know people need to talk. I know people need to communicate. That's just how that goes. But here, no, because I'm going to tell you this, because I see this, the whole 360-degree angle from the time that folks are even trying to donate to Quest Unite Africa and their monies get slowed up or their transactions get canceled, or it is a real thing that we're dealing with. So don't think that this spiritual warfare is not real. This
Really,
spiritual
Father, get
warfare
out.
is absolutely real. And see, we have to be able to understand what the enemy is trying to do and how the enemy will try to do things, because it's not for it's for the consumption of Israel. That is where this thing is at. Okay, if I can just throw this here, if I can just throw this poison pill there, yeah, I can get these brothers off, I can get these sisters off, I can do this, I can do that. That's where we're at right now. If you don't understand where we're at right now and how the games that the enemy is using, the enemy is in trouble. Ask the BRICS nations. Look what they're getting ready to do.
Yeah.
And you don't think that they're going to come after us first when it's all about us? Maybe if we have them cry, and maybe if we have them in derision, and then maybe if they cry out and they ask the Most High to save this place. Do you not think that that's what they want us to do? Cry out and have the Most High extend your vacation stay in captivity.
Exactly. Most people, as we know, most people are followers. So if they can put disruption in the 4 or 5 main channels that we all listen to, they'll figure that everybody will just dismantle.
There you go. That's it. And that's the whole gist of it. If I can get them discombobulated, keep them fighting. Let me tell you something. Did not the Messiah have that problem with the disciples? They kept on saying to each other, who was the greatest among them? Man, the apple did not fall too far from the tree. We're the same way. We're the same way. Yah is going to teach you something, Karis. He's going to teach me something. Fast Nickel, Yacoba, Rojo.
So I have a question. So if you had an understanding of agreeing to disagree, and then you go behind on your community wall or whatever and attack a particular person, right? How does the person who get attacked the one who caused the trouble? How is the person who get attacked the one always being accused of being a troublemaker? That's what I want to know. See, I one thing I don't like is unfairness. It used to happen in elementary school and stuff. I'd get in trouble and I'd be like, well, he the one that did it. How am I in trouble? See, this is what ticks me off about some of our people, right? They quick to want to jump sides and take sides and all this stuff, but you're not fair in where you're pointing your finger, right? I think that's one of my issues I got to deal with is I hate injustice and I hate lies, right? And this is why I be so bold. Like even what I see supposed TCA doing, I don't think it's TCA, but you can't call these people, Freemasons because you see a few hand signs, right? That's ridiculous. You need more than that, right? You're destroying people's names, reputations, and families and ministries, right? And so, so to me, I'm like, I'm sort of like the person who always stood up for the weak, right? For the one who being bullied, right? And now people being bullied. And I'm not, look, like I say, I don't even think it's TCA personally. I think something's happened. It don't feel like him. It's not his face, his voice on there no more. It's just a bunch of montage and insinuations. I'm not convinced until I see him come on himself, right? And so my whole thing is, I think we got a bunch of hypocrisy in the community, right? I think we're a bunch of hypocrites a lot of times and don't stand for righteousness and truth. This just me, and I'll get a lot of hate for this. But that's just the way I am. I hate lies, and I hate, that's why I call Tell Truth Ministry. That's just the way it is. Even if it goes against me, I'm gonna tell the truth.
Jacobo, we was the same way, me and my brother in school. We hated it. We grew up in the projects, brother. And we hated people just going around picking on people and things of that. Me and my brother, we was always getting suspended from school. And they called themselves Jehovah's Witnesses. Man, we were beating up kids left and right. Because we knew it was messing with kids, they didn't have no business messing with. And I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. If you're going to agree to disagree, move on, leave it alone. You ain't got to say nothing else about this brother, because when it's all over said and done, that's still your brother. But when you just got to be right and you want to stand out amongst the crowd, that's when you start having your problems.
Well, Michael, we got to remember too. I'm not gonna say it's okay to go off the beaten path every once in a while, but didn't Yeshua supposedly, when he wanted to reach a family of Israelites, he ate what they ate, and you know where I'm going with that?
Wait a minute, wasn't it?
Jacoby, you could probably help me out with this, brother, or maybe Karis, you can. When Yeshua Hamashiach, he ran across this family, and they invited him over to eat to dinner, and he ate what they ate.
Eating with the publicans and sinners. In the scripture, that's what you're talking about. And like, well, he's going in there to eat with the sinners. You say, well,
The drunks and all
the
that.
sick need a doctor.
Okay. So he didn't eat. He didn't go outside of the dietary law then, because I heard he went outside the dietary law, and
No,
that's
he didn't
something
do that long.
I struggle with, because I can't. I can't mess with that pork. I can't. I just can't.
No, I think you may be talking about Peter, and when Peter had the dream, and the sheet was being let
Yeah,
down with all the unclean animals.
right.
Saying kill and eat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah, because the sky opened up, and the Most High was saying eat, and Peter was saying no, I would not, because
Hmm.
that's me. I just can't do it, because I don't think, even if I think it's the Most High telling me directly, or Yeshua,
No, on
they,
that was a
they're not gonna.
misunderstanding. The Christians believe that was the go ahead to say it was okay to eat unclean foods. That
No, so
we're not
you can.
talking
It's okay to eat dogs and cats.
no,
No,
no. That's what that's what they use that scripture for.
got you.
But
Yeah,
that,
but it's look, you're not gonna offend, if you're offered something, right?
Uh
That's the
huh.
whole thing, because I'm gonna tell you, it's an offense if you don't eat the food that they're putting in front of your face.
ain't gotta be a
It's an offense.
Are you serious over there in Africa? Are you serious?
Not just Africa, over in the Middle East too.
Oh,
I mean, but for the majority of them, like we're in Dar es Salaam, they don't serve pork. Now they will. Then the thing about it kills me though. They would have shrimp up there though.
Hmm.
They would have shrimp. I'm like,
I ain't
wait a
gonna
minute.
touch that
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
But I mean, when it's all over said and done, I mean, we're trying our best to come together and
No,
pray and have a day of repentance. But it's difficult to do that when you got to have individuals that want to shine. But if your mind is not set on really coming together, until you get that mentality, you will always be a decisive individual, and you're gonna be working against Yah when it's all over said and done because you're not working it together.
hey, look, I want to say this, and I'm not into politics. I'm not, but I am into sticking it to these devils that want to hurt us. So it's up to y'all if y'all want to or not. On September 1st, there's also another great event going on, and it's called the 100 million person login. Just log into this account. I mean, not to this account. It's your account, but it's somebody that's running for president, and I don't vote. I don't put faith in them, because at the end of the day, they're for themselves. So, but if it's something to upset the apple cart, I'm all for it. So I think his name is Malcolm Tanner, I think. Just log on to his page and just hang out there. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing some ideas out there, and I'm not telling you because I'm not going to do it. So
Hmm.
no. I'm going to log on to it. I'm going to log on to it, but I'm telling you, I'm just not going to get involved in his political process, because if it's not something that's going to empower us and only us first, and then whoever else is down with us, 10 toes down second, I'm not with it. I'm not with this arising boat lifting all tides. I'm not with that, because I think we need to be lifting above everybody. That's
I'm
just
not voting for anybody. I'm not giving them no authority over me, right? That's the
Exactly.
way I look at it now. That
yeah.
when I vote for someone, you're giving them permission to rule over you. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I won't vote. I'm not going to vote, but I am thinking about jumping on his page just to hang out there, just to see, what kind of stuff happens. I mean, it's on TikTok, so I mean, they're trying to shut down TikTok anyway. So I think, even if
Well,
they identify me, they know who I am anyway. I don't care.
when it's all over said and done, all of this stuff will be shut down. And my thing is, like I said,
Mike, no, it's not, man. You think so?
you crazy. I mean, let me put it to you this way, bro. Let me put it to you this way. You had this attack that went through the community. Now you got this label of Black Hebrew Israelite. They got to put black on there to keep it, a negative feel for it. They call it, they got the name. Then we got this stuff. We got hit with the TCA, and it went through this community and others. Bruh, the communication is the first thing you take down in war. That's the first thing you take down in war. If you do not have any type of contact with a supporter of your struggle, you're going to eventually get weak. You're going to get weak. You're going to get discombobulated. You're going to try to figure out, all right, where's he at? Where are they at? Because you don't have communications. Yes, it's going to be shut down. I mean, if it's going to be shut down, it's going to be for their benefit. But they going to trust and believe they're going to have their back end where they can communicate. We don't own none of this stuff, bruh. We don't own none of it. The black man invented it, but it was stolen from him. So now, I mean, we at this point, alrighty, we know what's going to happen. I mean, that's I'm all about getting up out of here. I see the writing on the wall. That's just me now. I'm not trying to impress my emotions upon no one. This is going to go down.
And Brother Roger, just to piggyback on what Brother Michael's saying, when that day comes for us to go to the continent, it's not going to be peaches and cream. There's going to be chaos. There's going to be chaos going on for them to want us to go, just like it happened in Egypt. Chaos. Like if everything is like it is today, they're not letting us go. But there's got to be chaos. So chaos is coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh no, I feel y'all. I mean, I just maybe I'm just in such a hurry because I'm sick and tired of all of these. Not coming from any of us in the community or even on the Black Street. I'm just talking about all these other Gentile stations that I listen to because they supposedly have a better ear, and it's just a bunch of fear mongering. Like it's almost like the vibe I'm picking up. Like they want Israel to re-engage. They want us to get back and start praying for them. Like me and this young lady talked about. She's a sister, and she even put it on her video on her channel. These people will. It's all about us. If they can't take our spirit, because that's what they really want. If they can't take it or co-opt it or dirty it up, muddy it up, they'd rather destroy it. If they can't use it in any kind of way, they'd rather destroy it. That's why they've been trying to wipe us off the face of the earth. So it's all about us, and we're just not giving it to them. So maybe I'm just growing frustrated. I want stuff to pop off. That's all.
You want somebody to go ahead and push that button. Hey, push the button to be done with. Go ahead and push that button to be done with it.
All right. Well, family, let's we're gonna wrap this on up because we got to get some things done, um, especially with the Q2UA. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first because I'm always the first one to get the fastest boot out of here. First off, first order of business. Karis or Michael, y'all have my email address. Be sure to send that information to me because I do want to get started on, doing that so I can become part of that tier program. I mean, I'm taking a big leap of faith, but I think you guys are worth it. I think the cause is worth it. So, I'm 10 toes down. And aside from that, fam, really just watch out. If you can get some means of something to just, assure your own, defense and protection, candy bars or something, even if it's not that melee, just, and then keep your head on a swivel because it's getting serious out here, folks. They're not playing. There's something that they want to hold on to, that they want to maintain, whether it's the system control over us or whatever. They're not playing. So, let's stay prayed up. Let's always band together, and let's, look out for platforms like Brother Karas's and Brother Jacobus and anyone on the Black Street, the new Black media. Let's support them because they are a lifeline with their voices. They keep us informed. With that, I say shalom.
All right, thank you,
Awesome.
brother Rojo.
I go ahead and get up because I think my biggest concern is, man, us coming together. And I'm not just talking about here locally here in the United States. I'm talking about all of us, wherever we're located at. I'm a firm believer. We need to come together as one and move on. Move on. And just being here locally, what Brother Fast Nickel was saying, yeah, I find that stuff kind of that type of energy is something that keeps us apart. It keeps us fighting, you know. And everybody got a comment for everything. If there may be something Yacoba may have taught and they didn't agree with it, did not the Messiah say, if you got a complaint against your brother, leave your gift at the altar and go settle accounts with your brother? And if you just said, you agreed to disagree, and you walk and you go your different ways in love. We don't want to see that. It seems like it's like we want to keep up contention, and that is one of the things. Contentions is one of the things that Yah hates the most, because the first person that brought that up was Hashatan himself. We're doing the same dumb stuff repeatedly. Yeah, you may have some biblical knowledge, but you do not have all of it. Everybody got different gifts that Yah has given us. And he gave us different gifts in order for us to work together. It's called common sense to me. If you got a gift here and you got a gift there, work that gift together, because trust and believe you're going to need that brother's gift. He's going to need your gift. This division that we're trying to, that some individuals is trying their best to heap up, but at the same time turn back around and say, I'm a slave of the Most High. You're a slave of the Most High. You're a slave of the devil if you keeping up contention. It's just that simple. Don't use Yah in his glorious form for your spiritual wickedness to tear down the person you call your brother. Maybe I may be seeing something that I'm not understanding, but this is the type of dumb stuff that keeps us always fighting, and keeping up disbandment. You got 400 or 500 followers over here, and you looking at this particular brother who may have like 5,000. Now I don't agree with what he's saying here, because you're looking at a fleshly thing. You looking at what this brother got going on, and there's individuals who are believing in his teachings, because in their mind they have the same understanding. All it takes is one individual to plant a seed of untruth in an individual, and if you want to see the devil work, let that seed take plant. Let it take plant. You get, and especially with this technology world we call YouTube, oh, it spreads like wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody named mama gonna know about Yacoba said this and this incorrect. Now, what do you think the brother gonna do? If Yacoba said it to Karis, Karis go out there, he's going to be forced to make a response to it. But all that have done is brought in a division, and that's exactly what the devil wants. You've seen it already with TCA. We told you this don't sound like the brother. And if you don't know the brother, you haven't heard from the brother, you cannot sit up there and rightfully and judge that brother because you don't know what he did or somebody else did it. Come to find out, some other country put those videos out.
Mm. Let them tell them, let them know.
Another country put those videos out.
Mm. Do you not understand, family, how deadly serious this is? If you don't understand the fight that we're up against, this is go big or go home. Because why? Because we're the targets. You're the target. Go to a mirror, look in front of that mirror, and see that you're the target.
Mm. Brothers, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get up out of here. We do need to, at least every 3 months, we need to come together. And whether these, Pastor Kelly, get him on the phone. Look at brother, we need to start praying. Yacoba, on the phone. Let's all us get together on this YouTube thing and let's start praying because this stuff is about to hit the fan a whole lot harder than what we are anticipating. Mm-hmm. And this division that we think we got going on, this nonsense needs to cease and desist. It's just that simple. I mean, what? Yah has calling us and woken us up. We are right here walking our lives according to his will. We're representing him. And now if we keep on representing him and we speaking ill of our brothers and sisters, you're not representing him because it's going to be him who's going to reprimand you. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. And I hand it back over to you, Karis.
All right, thank you, brother Mike.
I'll go next. So I'm gonna say it like this. I'm a matter of fact person. And, some people say, well, you can't stand alone, right? That's true. But at the same time, I can stand with the Most High. Mm-hmm. And some people don't understand that there's logical questions that people need to ask. How can Yacoba and Teo have gotten along with somebody for like 3 to 4 years? And then all of a sudden it changed because we had an understanding that we disagreed, but we can still work together. Until somebody says something to tear you down because they're jealous or whatever the motivation is. See, my thing is this. I'm straight up. What you see is what you get. Right? And I ain't trying to please nobody but the Most High. People don't get that. Now, I love my people. I tell you that. But the scripture says, how can two walk together, at least they agree? If we all not pursuing the will of the Most High, we are in error. Right? And as Mike said, ain't nobody got all truth. I don't have all truth. Karis don't have all truth. Nobody. Mm-mm. Right? Only the Most High has all truth. But some of us pursue truth as much as we can to get as close to the truth as we can with purity in mind, with no agendas. And some people cannot differentiate between those who are in pursuit of the truth and the love of the Most High and his people and our deliverance, and from those who may want something else. And so, like, some people don't like my matter of fact ways, right? And it's not about me, but it's about discernment, right? Just like with TCA, I'm not convinced until I see his face that is him. Because everything of those videos that he's putting together, the way he's putting together without, consistency in terms of building a case, That's not how he's done it in the past. So something's different. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything bad about TCA because I don't believe it's him. But see, some of us need to have that discernment. Some people have already criticized, some people have already put him in the doghouse because they think it's him. Now, maybe it is him. If it is him, then something's terribly wrong. Something's happened to him, right? Somebody got to reach out for him. Definitely got to pray for him because something's changed. That is not him. That's not his personality. If you look at his previous videos, how he put the clips together, how he will put the evidence together and build the case from documentation and clips and everything. It is not just innuendos from some simple hand signs and reusing the same clips. I'm telling you, something's wrong there. That's just my opinion. Some people are going to say, well, Jacoba's a conspiracy theorist. I say I always was. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'll tell you that. I believe this world runs by conspiracy. So I just want to say this. I'm not the type of person, and some people don't like me for this, I'm not the type of person to try to get along just to get along. I'm the type of person that wants to get along for those who want to get along according to the will of the Most High. That's the difference. And when I see people doing things that may hinder the community, I find that sometimes the community is not very discerning. They lack spiritual discernment, right? That's one of the things I like about Brother Karras. Brother Karras, he got pretty good discernment, right? And some of the other brothers too. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Our love should be for the Most High first, and then for his people, and to have the Most High will done on earth as it is in heaven, right? Not for this idea of a fake unity. Now, should we get along as best we can? Yes, we can. But can you get along with somebody who denies, and I'm not pointing to anybody in particular, but can you get along with somebody who denies the Messiah? I don't think so. Can you get along with somebody who says that America is our home and where we were born and this is where we're from and stuff like that? I don't think so. Can you get along with somebody who says even the Gentiles can't be saved? I don't think so. Why? Because it hinders the Great Commission. It hinders what Yeshua came here to do, to save every man, woman, and child. The Jew first, then the Greek. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of Messiah. Peace out.
All right, thank you, Brother Jacoba. Brother Fastnickel, go ahead.
You know, Brother Karras, at first I wasn't going to say anything, but as everyone was talking, it just came to my spirit. I just want to say this. You know, as you know, I've been given my time for Question Unite Africa very happily. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons is because in my spirit, I just knew that when everything is burning around us, as the book says, there's only going to be a remnant. And there's going to be that remnant few of us that we're going to need to attach to each other to be able to survive this and to be able to have that commonality that is necessary. And the next few months, as you say, go big or go home, are going to be critical. But you and I both know that when the Most High is behind something, this is going to succeed, and we're going to look back at this time and in laughter, in joyous laughter of where you know the darts that were thrown to try to tear it apart, but now it's flourishing. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's the excitement I look forward to say, hey, I was part of it at the beginning, you know. And again, no one knows what our level of involvement is, what the Most High has for us. You know, in your case, my case, anybody's case, you know, we may only be involved another month or 2 months, whatever. But at the end of the day, we had at least a part in making this happen, and we just need to be fortunate or blessed that the Most High allowed us to be a part of this.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. Thank you, brother Fast Nickel. Just to reiterate, he has put in some great work with getting the website to where it's at up and moving right now. The visual aesthetics. These are things, family, that can cost thousands of dollars, and we've been able to have our brother spending his time, which is a resource. Your prayers are a resource. Your gifts that you bring to Questing Night Africa, it's a resource. What we've learned in this system, it's a resource. I'm coming on out here asking for resources to continue the mission. I'm here asking for resources because we have things on the ground, but we have to maintain that. It has to be maintained. This is the Most High's organization, and we ask that you support it. It comes from the people. It always does. The gifts always come from our people. Whether you're working the things directly or you're going to say, hey, let me see what I can do, what I can scrounge up. No matter what, I thank you for those folks that even give $5, $10. Because for some of our people, $5 is the only thing that they can have to provide. And that just may break them. But you want to know what? They're seeing this and they're saying, I support what the Most High is doing. And I want to give anything that I can. And we ask, this is what we do. We ask the Most High that He supplies and He multiplies. It's not about where we're starting, it's about where we're going. The Most High had to convict me yesterday. And I had to ask the Most High to forgive me because I had to come through in humility. And I would say, Father, how come all these other wicked behind organizations, they get money like this? They get supported like this. And we're struggling, Father. And we're struggling, and you see us struggling. And I said, Father, you could turn this thing around like that. I said, how come? Why not? And while I was in that shower, the Holy Spirit told me, He said, because when you're going through the process, you appreciate what's being built even more. And I had to really think about it. Do you understand that with these other organizations and the other nationalities, with them folks compared to us, we have always been in a struggle. But then when it becomes successful, we appreciate it more. Now, they may try to burn it down, they may try to steal it, they may try and do whatever they want to do with it, but I believe that in this time, they can't touch this. And it's not by our might, it's not by our power, but it literally is by His Spirit. I know we're in the right direction because with all the opposition that we have been faced with, you don't do things for the Most High and it's just going to be easy. It's always going to be opposition. It's always going to be a struggle. Tell me what happened in the word where it was just an easy thing. Even with David, that was always a struggle. And you don't think that we weren't going to struggle with this? The devil's a liar. We were always going to struggle with this. Do you think that any type of redemption was just going to be easy? Tell me where it was going to be an easy button for this redemption. Now that we knew who we were. Oh well, you know what? It's going to be real simple. And the Most High is going to build a spiritual highway, and we're going to fly away, and we're going to use spiritual jetpacks, and that's what our people think. And then you tell them, tell me where that was at the last couple of times in this word. Explain how this thing happened. That Eurocentric Christianity has been placed on our people, and then we carry that on over, and then we read the word and realize that's not the case at all. It was always a struggle. But the struggle isn't for us, it's for his glory. It's for his benefit. And he always takes those things, the small things that look insignificant, and it always confounds the wise. It always confounds the wisdom of this world. And right now, you see their wisdom confounded, and they can't even understand what's happening to them. I see in my news feed, it's bricks, 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 bricks. They don't even understand what's happening to them. But trust and believe as they see our success on the continent, then they're all going to be coming through. Hey, let me give you this. Help me with that. Let me provide you this. Help me with that. It always happens. All the time, all day, every day. See, when they have had it too easy, they don't care about what they've gotten because they got it easy. They don't care about what's in front of them because they've gotten it easy. And now they're having this struggle. Because in many instances, not only did they get it easy, but they stole from it pretty easy. Oh, they stole our wealth pretty easily, and they still have our West stolen very, very easily. And now all the chickens are coming home to roost. And so that's literally where we're at, family. I don't come on here every day to say, please, 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 we're begging you, we're begging you. No, listen. That's what the Most High puts on your heart. We have monthly financial goals to where we're raising 25,000 a month. 25,000 a month supports all of our efforts. It supports all of our efforts. To do something on the continent, to show what's on the continent, to build what's on the continent, to move things to the continent. We've been away from our brothers and sisters for 400 years. 400 years. All we're doing is just taking the right steps towards them, understanding them, feeling them out as they're doing the same to us. We may want to jump in head first because that's what we learned in our captivity. And they aren't a head first people. They are people of let's take our time. You're working fast and they're working slow. So we have to be able to learn how to work with each other. And it was done intentionally for this purpose. For this purpose right now. Do you think that they're ever going to stop it? No, they were never going to stop it. But what did they want to do? They wanted to slow it down and hinder it as much as they possibly could. But we see the Most High doing something and moving in ways that we thought we'd never see. I'm asking you all, I'm asking you all, please don't miss out on this opportunity. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because let me tell you, it is not going to get any easier down this road. Again, thank you for those that have donated. We see donations coming in. Thank you, family. But we're not done yet. And the way I see it now, the time has really started to be compressed. And here's the funny thing, it's not us saying it, it's them saying it. So, again, thank you, family, for supporting Quest to Unite Africa. If you'd like to learn more about the organization, please visit us at quest2uniteafrica.org. If you'd like to come through on a Sunday morning Zoom call, please visit us. Understand this organization. It's not about one man, it's not about a group of people, it's about us serving the Most High. It's about us building the bridge and connecting with our family. Because this isn't just for us, this is for the generations that come after us. So, with that said, family, I got to get going. Folks are pinging right now to get me into these meetings, and I got to get to these meetings to do the work. Hallelujah. Thank you for your prayers and your supports. Thank you, family, for supporting the Covenant Awakenings channel. I appreciate that. If you'd like to make a Cash App donation to Quest to Unite Africa, please ensure that you're using $ Q2UA. So far, so good. It looks as though we can receive gifts that do not exceed $50 or more. That's the algorithm. Now you're starting to see we're dealing with AI now. We're dealing with Terminators now. And y'all thought that it was a joke. Y'all thought that it was a game until now you understand what's been happening. And guess where they like to always start? In our communities. Do you think it was going to be in their community? Absolutely not. I just think the Most High that He's given us a spirit of discernment that as soon as we saw that, we're like, nah, something's different. So with that said, family, most high willing, I will be back on Monday. So with everyone from Quest Unite Africa, in conjunction with Covenant Awakenings, Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Peace and blessings, Yasharel.